Welcome, everyone, to the Renegade Realm Podcast. I am your unfortunate host, Red Wolf, and I'm joined by an illustrious group of guys, or lamps, depending on how they identify, starting with Assassin. Welcome, Assassin.
Hey, guys. How's it been?
Hi. It's been good. What do you mean? Macbound also is joining us. Everyone knows Macbound. What's up, Big Daddy?
Big Daddy Mac, what's up, you guys?
And Sapio, the man with the glasses, the man with the asses.
Oh,
Welcome.
hello. Hi.
Yeah, that's what they say when you walk in the room, baby. Okay, so good intro, good start. Is this good content? We'll find out. So let's just, I'm not going to make anything formal or anything. Let's just, everyone calm down. So the big news today was the Stalker stuff. I just want to get right into it because it's fresh. It's fresh on everyone's brain. We did I expected a release date. We got a release window, and that's good. It's good. But what did we think about what we saw? I'll start with you, Assassin. What'd you think? What'd you think about that?
Well, first of all, like you, I thought it was going to get a release date after that trailer, that beautiful gameplay trailer, which I couldn't really tell at first, but after watching it a couple times, I could definitely tell 60 frames per second is obviously what they're going to target with performance.
Yeah.
Story-wise, it's got me intrigued at the very least, but I need to see more. I need to see more gameplay. I just want more. I just want more Stalker 2. It's one of my most anticipated games of the generation. And from what it's showing, it's definitely on my radar. It's definitely in one of my top. It's definitely my top 10 for 2023. So that's where I'm at with Stalker. But like I said, I need to see more gameplay.
Yeah, because we saw gameplay 72 years ago, I think, and so whenever I saw the gameplay, I was like, "Oh, good." So more. It was a lot of like snapshots of just shooting ADS, and I was like, okay, cool, but what else, you know? So I wasn't disappointed. I was just like, I thought that it would be like the official, you know, like we're used to seeing release trailers and all that, and it didn't really feel like that. It just kind of was like, hey, we're still here. Where everyone's alive, you know, no pun intended. That's not, you know, I don't want to be disrespectful because it's been literal hell for them. And
Yeah, I mean, that guy just passed away not that long ago, like a week ago, so that sucks for them.
yeah, it's, I mean, and it's just so much. I mean, we cannot fathom what they're going through. And I talked to my friend today, and he was just so convinced. He's like, I thought it was canceled. And I was like, I feel like a lot of people did, and the fact that they stuck with it is a
Yeah, they never once said they canceled it. They did say that when the situation with the war and, you know, clearly all that's going on, that's above all of us in politics and oil and whatever else is going on over there for Russia and them. But like the biggest fall that I had with it is if you go back and watch the trailer from 2 years ago or whatever it was to now, you could definitely see that it's a downgrade. I mean, but we all knew that was going to happen. But my biggest thing when I'm sitting here watching this, and I watched the trailer, and I was like, "Dang!" It is the ADSing was very wonky. It was kind of like a snapshot ADS, and it wasn't like, it was really weird. And they hit fired on almost everything besides like 2 kills, and I didn't like that. They were showing so much hit firing, and people, it's almost like they were going in there with a blind guy shooting, and it was just awful. And outside of that, it was, I mean, the little cutscenes they had, and the guy walking up behind him with the pistol and stuff like that, and then he had the pistol to his head, that looked good. But the little bit of gameplay they showed that was like with other people like shooting back at him and the little monsters trying to kill him and stuff, kind of was a little wonky. Yes, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they are going through the war, but I do hope they do not rush this. This is one of my top games of last year this year, that was supposed to come out, and unfortunately the situation happened. But they need to just work on it, just make sure they fix everything right and get it going. But it still looks really good for what they've done. It's just they got a little bit of more work to do, is why I think they haven't gave us a date, because there's clearly this game is not close to being done, or at least it's still got a lot of polishing to do, which
Right.
I mean, you see the guns even had kind of like a wonkiness to it, but
yeah,
they'll be fine.
It for me, and I know we're gonna keep comparing this to Metro, because Metro, you compare this directly, and you see the weight when you swing your weapon left and right. You can feel the weight, and the shooting is, and again, Metro's shooting is not good. I don't care what anyone says. It's not good. I had to actually fire from the hip a lot in that game, the same way that I had to fire from the hip in games like Homefront. We were just talking about Homefront, the Revolution. I love that game so much, but it is not, the acceleration of turning and the sensitivity is just not optimized correctly. And that's what you just described, Mac, is what I saw was a lot of like snappy, weird, jerky movement with the shooting. It didn't feel, it didn't look weighty. I don't know how else to describe it. It didn't feel weighty, and I'm not gonna harp on it. Again, I'm excited for it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna love it. I'm probably gonna buy it just to have it, because it is coming day one on Game Pass. And I hope it stays on Game Pass and Xbox, because, but we won't get into that. We'll get into that later, actually. Oh, that's another thing I need to type in. Sapio, did you get a chance to look at this, or do you?
Yeah, I did.
Anything?
I mean, so I have never played the original Stalker. I don't even really know what it's about. To be fair, I think just watching it, right? Just watching, my initial reaction was, because I didn't have that kind of like a backstory with, or like I didn't grow up with Stalker, shall we say. It just kind of felt like another first-person shooter game with maybe like zombie or mutants, and that might be like heretical for me to say, but that was my initial reaction. It didn't, like, nothing really popped out at me for me.
Yeah, I think that is the issue that I've had for a long time. And you can ask Assassin and Mac. I am feeling a large amount of fatigue when it comes to first-person games, and I feel like if they do something new and fresh, it would be fine. But sequels of games are coming out that had third-person options that no longer have third-person options, like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. If that ever comes out, that game was third-person and first-person. And the same thing with frame rate. If someone doesn't like 30, they should have the option to choose to 60. And if a game is part of a franchise that came from something, it should have the option to switch. Look, I'm not going to get into the technical limitations, because I do understand that. I don't want to go on a tangent either. But yes, it is another first-person shooter. So what makes it special? We've already had Metro. Metro, again, was open world-ish. It had its hubs. So it had its customization with its weapons and everything. What is going to set Stalker 2? What's going to make it feel different enough to make it feel special, other than nostalgia? And
right, like why play Stalker 2 if there's other games that essentially does similar things? Like Chernobyl, that's been a topic that's been explored in, that's been a location that's been explored in a lot of different video games, I feel like, and just in media in general. Why Stalker 2?
Yeah, I mean, the game is, I mean, I don't think anyone here has played it, but maybe me and Mac. Right? Mac, have you played Stalker? Okay.
Yes, I played it, yep.
And I think, Assassin, you were coming out of the womb right as the game was coming out as well. So you share a birthday.
Yes.
Yes. I am not
Didn't
good
you come out in 2007?
I'm not good on keyboard and mouse, so I loved the game for what it was, but I played about 12 hours of it, and my body, my brain is just not built for keyboard and mouse, and there is no optimization for controller support. But I wanted to get into it enough to understand the world, and it's Metro. I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is. I don't know, but anyone else have any thoughts? Other thoughts about it?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, when you wonder how a game like Stalker 2 is going to separate itself or make itself unique compared to the other FPS, the only solution that I can see is if the story is different than a typical FPS, like what Atomic Heart is doing. It's doing its own version of BioShock. It's Russian BioShock. It's enough to get people intrigued, but you know it's going to be different enough from BioShock to expect something maybe new. So Stalker 2 did something similar to other first-person shooters, but did something also unique apart from them. Then Stalker 2 might stand a chance in the mainstream market, which is what it seems like GSC Game World is trying to target.
Yeah,
that's
I
just
mean, they could do. You could have Stalker 2 versus Metro. Metro is more hub-based, and then you could have Stalker, which might be a bit more open and a bit more non-linear. It could be more like Far Cry, which I don't know. That's maybe not. That's not like a good comparison, but just something that just doesn't feel like so samey, you know, because it's very. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Everything's hard.
Plus, it's very hard for the mainstream gaming community to be excited for a sequel in the first place. Like, if you take a look at the Witcher franchise, which I know you're a big fan of, not a lot of people really knew the Witcher games existed until, I would say, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt did. And then it exploded into mainstream media. We got a Netflix show, which apparently is going to be run to the ground soon now that Henry Cavill's leaving. But that's a topic for another day, which I'm assuming you guys would definitely want to talk about. But like I said, it's very hard to market a sequel when people barely know about the first game. So you also have to take that into account, unless, and they need to specify this, if this is true, because even I don't know, is Stalker 2 connected to the original Stalker, or is it a completely separate entry like the Final Fantasy series, where you don't have to play the previous game to understand the current one? So if they can also explain that a little bit and get that word out, maybe they'll have a bit more attention on the game before it launches.
I don't think that it's going to be as connected as Metro is with what's the guy's name? Altair. It's not that. What is it? It's very similar though.
Not sure. It's been a while since I played that, so
it's no.
Yes, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the original come out in 2007?
Yes, it did.
Yes,
it was. It was called it was called Heart of the it was called Heart of the Chernobyl. No, wait, which one was it called?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Shadow of the
he's asking sorry, he's asking about Metro, right?
Oh, you're asking about
I'm
Metro.
asking about the original Stalker.
Oh, no, I'm a piece of shit. I interrupted everyone. Go ahead.
So the original was called Shadow of Terraborn or something like that. I can't remember the actual name.
It's like it was called like Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl.
Chernobyl, that's right. Yeah,
Shadow
that's what
of Chernobyl.
I couldn't remember the actual word of the last one. It's just, I mean, it's pretty much the same as Heart of Chernobyl. So, and they did also have two other games in between that. It was called Clear Skies, and Call of the Pipe Yet or something like that, or something.
Yeah. Call of Pripyat.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's been a while. Like, these games are probably the time frame of those games were different for me. I didn't play them as much as I do games now, but I still played them. So yeah. So that's a game. Stalker 2 is a game now, again, and I'm excited. I don't know. I'm just hoping that I feel like I'm hoping that the pacing has a similar pace to Metro, but has more depth. I don't know. It just didn't show any. It felt like that whole entire trailer was just, here's a story beat and here's a bunch of shooting, and the game is coming out this year, or 2023. So, I don't know.
Anywho, shall we move on?
Yeah.
To topic number 2, yes.
All right, I'm gonna choose the next topic because I
know what's coming.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, I want to approach this delicately, but I don't think there is any way. Square Enix.
Oh.
Square Enix absolutely being so. Oh, I don't know what words to use. I'll just go into what we know and just sort of touch on it and what you guys know as well. But Square Enix, years ago, let's just go back to Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was a timed exclusive. And if I remember correctly, they did not specifically say that it was coming to Xbox. They said that it was a timed exclusive. And it did come to PC, right?
Yeah.
So
yes,
that's fine. But the PC release was even way off from a year. And not only that, in 2019, they announced that how many Final Fantasy games were going to be coming to Xbox
9.
Game Pass?
There was going to be 9
fucking Final Fantasy games were coming. And they brought Final Fantasy 7, 8. Help me here. They brought Final Fantasy 7. They didn't bring it to Game Pass. They just brought it to Xbox, right?
It was Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-2, which was the same game within the thing. Final Fantasy 12, I think it is, and then they brought Final Fantasy 13, 1, and 13 Lightning Returns, and a couple of those were on Game Pass. I think Final Fantasy 10 and 12 were on there. 13 was on there. I don't think they put the older, like the Final Fantasy 9, 7, and 8 on there. And then, of course, I think we already had Final Fantasy 15 prior to that. So, and then they also had another Final Fantasy Type 0. I think that was also another game they counted towards it also. So there's I'm guessing the 9. I'm not sure if that's all 9, but I can't think of any other Final Fantasy game outside of those ones.
Yeah. Assassin, what's your thoughts? Because I need to breathe.
What are my thoughts on Square Enix as a publisher as a whole?
Oh man, and we can just go. Let's just unleash.
I'm not sure if I'm the one to start out that. I'll just go with maybe Max should go first.
Let's say.
Go.
Well, yeah, because you guys know how I feel about it. You guys heard me lamp on it.
Let's go.
So first of all, I want to say, when they did not, I just found this out about a week ago, maybe, when they announced they weren't gonna put it Final Fantasy 1 through 6, the remake Pixel editions on console for only Xbox. It's coming to Switch. It's coming to PlayStation. It's overpriced on top of it. So they're trying to make some type of money that I guess Xbox doesn't do it. But when I found out that, it just pushed the limits even more. And then on top of it, Final Fantasy VII not coming here. I own it on my PlayStation 5, but it's just, I want to play it on my Xbox because of the achievements, because of my achievement grind and stuff like that. But to not bring these fucking games onto my console that is my choice of what I want to play my games on, and then to just act like we don't even exist as a community, and all the stuff that Xbox has done for them in the past with Tomb Raider and all that, and helping them get these places started up, and then they just act like they don't exist, is the most baffling shit in the world. I don't understand how you can, like, as a company, allow that. But I get it. It's business. It's a business standpoint of view, and I'm sure Sony or whoever else, Jim Ryan, the Gobbler, is clearly somewhere up there, giving money out. They're probably clearly Square is thinking, well, Xbox is only bringing us 7 to 10% of the revenue in. Well, Sony said they'll probably cover that 7 or 10%, and they just bring it to us. So there's clearly something on that. That's clearly it. But I know a lot of people that like Square games. Yeah, but 7 to 10% isn't much. You think of the sales of a game, but they still, it's still, you gotta support your community, no matter if it's the smallest community, or the biggest community. It's not that's stupid. That's like how many times has a game come out for Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch, and it's been bad on Switch, but a company still makes it for Switch even on the next game, because it's still supporting the people that do buy it. And it's such a frustrating situation when it comes to stuff like that. How can you be so disrespectful to the Xbox community? Yes, I get it. Business point of view, I get it. I understand. You put more time into it. You can fix the game for Sony or PlayStation 4 or 5, whatever it comes for. You can fix that game and make sure it's perfect for them people. But you're screwing over so many people, and it looks bad on you on a standpoint of view, because what if, and 2 years from now, Xbox buys you, Microsoft buys you, you know, they throw you $4 or $5 billion because you're not a big company, you're not a big revenue company, and they take over you. It's gonna look bad, because then you're gonna have to make it for both consoles again. So now you look like a shitty company, and then the company that you've been shitting over buys you or something like that. It can lead into so much stuff with these business standpoint of views, and why Sony is just screwing over and allowing stuff like this to happen. I don't understand. It irritates my soul. I don't get it. I don't get why you're gonna allow Square. That's why I'm so happy they sold some of those Western studios, because if I can't play the new Tomb Raider that comes out, I would be very frustrated, because I love the Tomb Raiders, or whatever other game is going to be coming out that is from them, the Western studios. I can't think of any right now because I'm irritated, but it's crazy. And I don't know. Square Enix is not a company. If I was Xbox, it's not a company I would look to buy. I would look to screw them over and let them fall with Sony. You know, let them be with the Sony fate. You know, let them. You know, when their games don't sell well, then they can just blame it on the Sony community, because clearly nobody cares about the Switch community.
Yeah, and the thing is, so I have 2 points to make here, and the thing about Square Enix and PlayStation is there is a parallel that you can draw with Bethesda and Square Enix. Okay, and I'm just trying to be devil's advocate and be realistic before I unleash my anger. If any company is to be acquired by PlayStation, because that seems to be what is happening, right? It's very clear they are probably going to acquire Square Enix very soon. They want to get this ABK bullshit out of the way. And if they're going to do that, they want to look like the good guys for now. And they're very slowly, again, I am a key witness, along with hundreds of other, whoever else wants to speak up about it. I went into a GameStop to pre-order Final Fantasy Crisis Core. They didn't even allow me to pre-order the game for Xbox. And I'm like, why? And they're like, it looks like they just didn't ship any. I was like, okay, I guess that's because maybe they shipped it already, so I can't pre-order. And they were like, yeah, that's probably what it is. So I go in there on day one release, and I was like, I'm just here to pick it up because, it got shipped. So here I am at a GameStop. Oh, they didn't ship it for Xbox. I'm like, but it's here for PlayStation? Like, yeah, and Switch. I'm like, what the fuck? So, and now we have all these other anecdotal stories of people saying they had a similar experience. I, that same day, went to Walmart, which in my GameStop, it's just right across the street. I have this big little marketplace area. I went to Walmart and they didn't have it for Xbox. And now everyone knows where this is going. Tons of people have come out now and said, I saw a tweet, someone went into Best Buy, they bought the one and only copy day one that was there at Best Buy. People went into GameStops, they had 2 copies, they bought both copies and gave one to their brother. I've seen, and then Square Enix comes out and says, and this is why we are choosing to side with PlayStation, because we just don't ship that many games to Xbox. Yeah, because you don't fucking ship games to Xbox, you fucking Sapio, how do you feel?
So I'm kind of like the layman here. I don't really know much about Square Enix as a company, and I don't really follow what they do. But from what I can tell, it kind of sounds like they're pretty shitty. That's I think I can safely make that conclusion here.
It's like the sad kind of shit. Like when you wake up in the morning and you hate your life and you got a cup of coffee in your hand, but you're also on the toilet. It's that. It's like, I used to know you. I used to love you. It's that kind of thing.
Not to step on Red's toes, but I just want to ask, Sapio.
Oh, ouchie.
Do you know, or have you ever played any of Square Enix's IPs? Final Fantasy,
I don't think I have.
Dragon's Quest?
Definitely not either of them.
No Kingdom Hearts either?
No Kingdom Hearts either.
Ooh, man, you missed me. I will say something. Those games, every game he just announced, like I'll say Dragon Quest I haven't played much of. I did play the most recent one. It's like 11, I think it is. It's really good. So I'm sure the other ones are great. But Final Fantasy is probably one of the best JRPG games you can ever play. If you like games, some of them are turn-based, some of them are not. You know, that's so if you don't like turn-based, you might not like them as much. It's a little different type of turn-based. I mean, in Kingdom Hearts, if you love any type of Disney characters or anything like that, plus you like RPGs, that is the way to go. Like that game, and it has such a great. The stories is so long, it's so good, it's just amazing. So it's not like they make bad games. They just have bad business standpoint of view. It looks bad on them. It does. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. To be fair, right? Like I know a little bit about these games. I don't think they're bad games in any qualifying way of measuring how good a game is. I think they seem to be pretty fine games and pretty well made games. I know Video Game Donkey has some like very bad opinions on them. Partly probably because he doesn't like JRPGs. And JRPGs, for me, it's not really my cup of tea. But if it is, I assume that these games are pretty good. At the same time, a company's not known just for the game they make, right? It's about how they run the business. And in that latter part, I feel like from what I've heard, they're not really making consumer-friendly decisions.
Very much so. It's kind of like, I'll even use Activision for example, because we are talking. This is the whole reason everything's going on. Everybody's talking about this ABK deal. The reason why ABK has dropped in price is because of quality of work. Like it was bad, so the share went. They were looking bad, so their share went down because of it. Why is Square Enix is not going down? Why, like this is a bad business point of view. But at the same time, if let's say they make $10 million on Xbox and Sony covers it, are they really losing any money? You know what I'm saying? They're not losing money if Sony covers it, So it's probably why they're not losing much. So it's just consumer friendly. It's just their consumer friendly is by far one of the worst I've ever seen. I mean, I know Capcom can be pretty bad at it, but Square Enix is definitely hitting the mark on that.
Yeah,
in the past 2 years, I can see that Capcom is definitely a much better publisher when it comes to supporting the Xbox community than Square Enix. The only two times that I did say the Mega Man situation, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy, which I will give you credit for. I know how you feel. And the other one is the recent survey that they sent out to their consumers, and it didn't mention the Xbox community at all. Given Capcom's reputation, I'm partially willing to let go of the first one because I have no attachment to Mega Man. I know you do, Mac, but I don't.
Yeah.
But that survey that they sent out, and they didn't even mention the Xbox community, I can see why a lot of us would be pissed off. And to be fair, and that's fair criticism to Capcom. It's also fair criticism to Square Enix for also not voicing their support for the Xbox platform. Which, Mac and Red, that's your console of choice. So I can see that. So look, I've talked to Sapio about this many months ago, and I've recently told you guys how I feel about Square Enix as a whole. Many moons ago, yes. As a gamer that plays on all systems, I have no say. Or I have no say in this argument because I get most of my games from Square Enix on PlayStation. That's just how I've been. But if you ask me where I would get Final Fantasy, I would say PlayStation. Same with Kingdom Hearts. Same with Dragon Quest. And it's nothing against Xbox. But the thing that separates me from the three of you, or I should say Mac and Red, because Sapio, he's on PC, he can get any game he wants.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, bro.
What separates me from the two of you, whenever I buy a game from a franchise, an established franchise, wherever I get that game on which console, I stick with it. So when I first got Resident Evil 2, the remake, I had a choice between Xbox, PlayStation. I chose PlayStation. Mainly because that's the console I had at the time. I didn't have an Xbox. So even when RE3 came out, the remake, and RE4 is going to be on Xbox, I'm going to get those on PlayStation because that's where I got the first one. That's where I got my first Resident Evil game. It's the same with Final Fantasy. It's the same with Kingdom Hearts. I got those first on PlayStation. Same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2, I got that on Xbox. Because I associated it with Xbox because that's where I got the first game. That's how I am with every publisher, with every franchise. So when I say I have no qualms in this fight against Square Enix, not putting their games on Xbox, as a gamer, I have nothing to say. But when I think about the community as a whole, every community, not just mine, not just my friends group, I do have a problem with them not supporting the Xbox platform. I do have a problem with it. Because it does show Square Enix, for some reason, has contempt for the Xbox community. How many times has people on Twitter, on Reddit, posted the fact that they do in fact support Square Enix, Xbox players specifically? How many times have we had to have you guys had to have this fight with Square Enix and say, we do support your games, but why should we support you now? You throw us a bone with Crisis Core, but you're not letting us have the remake. You're not letting us have the Pixel Remaster series that you guys mentioned earlier. You're not letting us have Final Fantasy 16. What's the point of supporting you when you're just dragging this along? If you're going to make an IP exclusive to the platform, to a specific platform holder, just say so. Just get it over with. Because to be fair, there are other publishers that I think Xbox fans are happy to support. Because in eventuality, Sega and Atlus didn't have to port Persona over at all. There's rumors that Shin Megami Tensei is also coming to Xbox as well. So obviously the Persona partnership has done tremendously well.
Oh, otherwise, yeah, baby. Persona 3 and 4, coming to Game Pass. Whew. Yes.
Bandai Namco is also another good one. The Tales of Arise series. Scarlet Nexus, they do support the Xbox platform. And they're not ashamed to admit it. Elden Ring, which is the most talked about game of the year, premiered at the Xbox E3 2019 press conference. So when you look at a publisher like Square Enix against others like Sega and Bandai Namco, and in some ways, even Capcom, Square Enix as a publisher, as in terms of moral business decisions, they're at the bottom of my list. I'm sorry. They like you guys said, they make great games. Publishing wise, they also suck. Anyone remember Bound's Wonderland or Babylon's Fall? Because I don't.
Oh,
Babylon's Wonderland. That's a good name.
Yeah, but
that's hilarious. It would be hilarious if that was actually a real game.
As a fan of Square Enix games, I have no qualms in this fight, but as a supporter of the Xbox community, I do. So when you guys say you guys don't support Square Enix on Xbox, I'm not going to stop you. But at the same time, I can't really say anything negative about Square in terms of making games.
Yeah,
but like I said, that's my
games, but if they're not available to you, then what the fuck?
Like if they announce Final Fantasy VII Remake or 16 for Xbox at one day, I'm going to be happy for you guys, because you guys will finally get to play it, but considering how bad Square Enix has burned you both, and has burned so many members of the Xbox community, I won't be shocked if you guys say you're not going to buy it, even if it is on Game Pass.
I'm glad you brought that up, Assassin, because we were just about to get off the topic, and now we're right back on it, because you reminded me of one of the biggest points about this. Final Fantasy 16, 6-month exclusive, coming to Xbox on announcement. that was on the announcement trailer, okay? After the fact, we had tons of people saying, yep, 6-month exclusive coming to Xbox and PC after. And then
does it really say that?
Oof, that's what it said. That's what a ton of people said. Coming to Xbox afterwards. The same thing with different studio, but Bloober Team making Silent Hill 2. That's a 1-year exclusive coming to Xbox. Now, Microsoft has come out with a statement, and you guys can pull up the tweet here. I'll sort of try to ad-lib because I don't want to look while I'm typing. Microsoft says that Sony has officially signed an Xbox blocking deal, paying to block games from coming to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass. And they used the examples as Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Silent Hill 2, and they named there was something else that they named. Those games.
Bloodborne.
That's right, Bloodborne 2. Thank you. And permanently, by the way, they said permanently, and they said if this is the route that they're going, this is the example that they're setting. They are officially paying money to block these games. This is after they announced that these games are timed exclusives, and then they turn around and then they say, never mind. You know what? Fuck you guys. We can do whatever the hell we want, but please. Call of Duty. Oh fuck! And this is the bullshit that it makes me so upset. Listen, I think exclusivity is fine. It's fine, but every single game that comes out that was already on other platforms and just locking it down for no reason. And now I know people are going to say, "Oh, what about Elder Scrolls?" Again, Square Enix and Bethesda, that it kind of does make sense, okay? I'm sorry, but Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 is not coming to PlayStation. I'm sorry, it's not. But it is coming to multiple platforms, coming to Xbox and coming to PC. Probably not going to be coming to Switch. But for them to, it's one thing if Xbox came out and said Starfield coming out on PlayStation and in 6 months to a year, coming to Xbox day one, Game Pass, PC day one, look forward to it. And then a week later they go, you know what, never mind. I would be like, that's kind of fucked. Even as an Xbox player, I'd be like, that's not okay. That's not a good business practice. You don't treat your consumers like they're playthings, you know? So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Everyone can touch on it real quick so we can get this over with. But yes, that is a thing. In case anyone here on the panel missed it, that is something that they said.
Just bullshit. That's all. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, 4 games they listed. I don't know why they listed Bloodborne. That's a Sony IP through and through. They just contracted it to From Software. From Software was making the game and they made it exclusive, so I don't know why that's listed. That's never coming to Xbox.
I agree. Yeah, that was never. I do agree with that. That was kind of a weird thing to throw out there, but they said, for example, it's like what?
Now, to be fair, they didn't say it was going to come to Xbox. They just said other platforms. They didn't list how many platforms. They didn't list which platforms. So when they say 1-year timed exclusivity and it will be available on all platforms after this specific day, unless it's written in writing that it's coming to PC and Xbox, I don't trust it at all.
Well, that's the thing. When people are spending millions of dollars a year on your platform, you don't get to be vague about your. If you say it's coming to, and everyone gets all hyped up and everything, and you say, well, that's just marketing. I get that it's marketing, but not with IPs that have been on other platforms for years. I just spit all over my computer. That's how angry I am. I'm spitting everywhere. Yeah,
because this is what Sony expertise is at. This is why Microsoft does not pull this type of shit. What Sony does different than Microsoft and Nintendo is wordplay. They can say Final Fantasy VII Remake will not come to other platforms after, I think it was April 3rd, 2021. PC the PC port of Final Fantasy VII Remake came December of 2021. They can honestly say to regulars and say, we said other platforms. It is on other platforms now. It's on PC. We never said it was going to come to Xbox. And technically, they are telling the truth. So, that type of business bullshit is what's getting a lot of people pissed off. If you're going to say you're going to exclude the other platform holder, just come out and say it. Don't hide behind wordplay like you did with Final Fantasy VII Remake. And because of that, there's a real chance Silent Hill 2 Remake will not come to Xbox. Because if they pull this shit again, and they put it on PC after that one-year timed exclusivity, then they can say, we said other platforms. We didn't say it was going to come to Xbox.
Yeah. And then do
See how they're not lying? How they're not lying?
Yeah.
So expect that to happen
again. The
again.
anime thumbs up with a wink that goes ching.
Same with Final Fantasy 16. Same with KOTOR Remake. Same with Lost Soul Aside, which is another Chinese RPG that they just signed with. There's no way of telling which ones will actually come to Xbox after that exclusivity window ends, because through their wordplay, they can still put it on PC, and they didn't lie. They didn't lie, and that's something that's very frustrating because you want to be mad, but in reality, they kept their word. It is on other platforms, so you can be mad at them for what decision they make, but when it comes to their words, there's nothing really nobody can say, and that sucks.
Vile.
It's cruel.
Vile.
It's disgusting as a business
Sapio,
practice, and that's why. Yeah, Gab, go ahead, Sapio.
Oh no, that's all I had to say about that. That is just yeah, that's everything I hate about mega corporations.
Yeah. And then you have the more consumer friendly, and people are saying, "Oh, Game Pass isn't successful." If all that you have to say is that Game Pass isn't doing well, is that you don't use Game Pass. You don't appreciate it. If you don't appreciate Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, fucking Spotify, YouTube Premium, I can go on and on about subscription services, and yet you sit there and you use it every single day, and you never talk about how great it is until someone asks you, "Should I get it?" And you go, "Oh yeah." I got so used to using it that it's just so easy. Everything is there anytime that I need it. My shows are there. My podcasts are there. I don't have to worry about ads. Everything in between. And then as soon as something like Xbox has no games comes up, it's like then it's an issue. Then all of a sudden people want to talk about it. I don't understand whenever it comes to anti-consumer practices like Sony is doing versus consumer-friendly practices like Game Pass, and then people want to bitch about how it's not selling well. That just means you're not using it. Game Pass is... I remember when Game Pass was... Remember, it was $1 a month. Y'all remember that in the beginning? It's like, what the fuck? And people are like, how? I don't understand. So many people jumped in with that $1, and as soon as the price went up, they're like, I'm in. I can't leave now. Like, it's just, everything is there. There's so much there to play. I can't imagine Xbox without it. Like, I don't even my girl, I just bought her a Series X, okay? And she is like, I don't need to buy games. I subscribe. I'm fine. And I actually remember her asking me whenever I showed her Game Pass, what is this, like $20 a month, or like 20, like, do you have like the ultimate? I was like, no, it's like 10. What is it? 15? Is that what it is for ultimate?
$10 for the regular Game Pass and 15 for ultimate.
15 for ultimate, and she was like, that's crazy. And I like slowly scrolled through all the games that are on Game Pass.
Sapio, do you have Game Pass on your PC?
No, I do not. And the only reason I don't is because there are so many games I haven't played yet that I own.
I got you. Yeah, well,
yeah.
You get Game Pass, your backlog would be 10 times as big. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Every gamer thinks, oh, this publisher is the biggest enemy of gaming, or this practice. It's like, no, it's our backlog. It's our backlog. That's our main arch enemy.
It is. It is.
There's just so much to play and not enough time.
What makes it worse is when you got your backlog's good, you buy a couple of games, you finish a couple, and then right behind the corner is like 6 more games that Game Pass has, and then you also have like games coming out that's coming out this month, like Dead Space, and you got Hogwarts Legacy next month. That's another 2 games that easily can take 10 to 15 hours to beat, minimum of that. If you're just if you're goofing off, yeah, maybe even longer. It's like, and then it's tough.
Side quest.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, for sure.
Yep, it's a good problem to have too.
Oh,
because even if there's like a big drought of games, like a year-long drought, you still have stuff to play.
Yep.
So while we're on the topic about bullshit and things that people don't like to talk about, let's just go ahead and get the ABK shit out of the way. Because Chile, now correct me, right? This is official. Chile has officially approved the ABK acquisition.
And Japan.
Yes, they have.
Okay,
no, Japan is not.
I know that Japan
they approved it.
Yesterday.
They approved it today. It was approved.
They approved it today.
Yeah,
that's
phase
right.
1 was. I will give you the link in a second.
All right, so I actually
if I can find it.
Sapio, do you know about? Are you familiar with this?
No, I am not. Please explain.
All right, I don't want to. I'll let Assassin do it. And Assassin, please take it from me.
Okay, so Sapio, what exactly do you not know? Did you not? Didn't we discuss Microsoft acquiring ABK beforehand?
I don't know. I don't remember.
No, yeah, I did, because you and I did talk about it behind the scenes. Because you said you don't trust big tech, which is understandable, but you said if ABK had to be acquired by one of the big 3, you'd want it to be Microsoft.
Oh,
I asked you about that, and you said yes.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
So basically...
I'll edit that out.
Yeah, So Sapio...
I have to.
I'm assuming Sapio hasn't been keeping up with ABK, so here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, starting in December, or I think it was late November, Sony went to regulators and said that it's anti-competitive, anti-consumer for Microsoft to acquire ABK because of 2 things. One, it provides Xbox Game Pass with an unprecedented power-up and might influence, people's choice of console, which is fair. It is fair. That one is a completely fair concern, but one that's not backed by a lot of evidence. The second one is Microsoft making COD exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft has answered and responded to that claim. First by offering 3 years after the current contract between Sony and ABK to keep it multi-platform until, I think it was 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2026.
It was 26, yeah.
It was 26? Alright, good.
Yep.
Sony said that wasn't adequate enough. Then Microsoft went and practically tripled that amount and said, okay, we'll keep it on PlayStation for 10 years. Sony has not responded to that claim, or I should say offer.
Mm-hmm.
They've been quiet. And before Microsoft went to meet with American regulators, the FTC, on December 8th, they dropped a bombshell on everybody. Not only were they going to continue offering Call of Duty for 10 years on PlayStation, but they're going to offer 10 years of Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms and PC.
No.
Now you may be thinking, oh yeah, the Switch is going to melt immediately once you put in COD. It's going to die. It's going to blow up your house. It's going to blow up the neighborhood block.
Oh, it's going to just
aside,
turn into lava, and it will be a natural disaster, yeah.
Yep. Although a day later, the FTC has agreed to block the ABK acquisition in reasons they listed. It's bullshit. They listen too much to Sony, and everyone's dogging on them for taking Sony's side over Microsoft's.
Mm-hmm.
No, Lena Khan, the head commissioner of the FTC, she's brought 7 deals to court and lost all of them. She just hates big tech. She has no personal vendettas in this fight, except it's Microsoft. She just wants to put them down. She doesn't understand the gaming industry, but that's where we are now.
she's just trying to look at it. She's only looking at it from the money standpoint of view. She's not looking at it from, oh, it's a video game. It's meaning she's looking at it as Microsoft owns Windows and they're making more money off video games too. So she's looking at it as they're becoming a monopoly, is what she's told. That's what they're trying to say. Listen, there's companies that are still richer than Microsoft by miles. So they need to look at other companies first before they start looking at bullshit like this that's meaningless. That's just going to help. It's not like it's a gas company where they just make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? It's their everybody needs gas, but at the end of the day, gas companies are just taking money from us. Microsoft has at least given us some satisfaction, you know?
Yeah.
For our prices that we pay. And the same with Sony. They're still same with Sony and same with Nintendo. They are there for the video. Most of them are there for the consumers, you know. Most of them, you know, in their own type of way. In their own type of way, you know.
Yeah, and in the past few months, numerous regulators have put in their 2 cents. They asked other publishers, they asked Sony and Nintendo, is this going to be harmful to the industry? Is this going to be harmful to video games as a whole, to the consumers, to developers? Every single publisher, every single developer that they asked personally has said no. Or they don't have any objection to the deal.
Right.
EA did not, Ubisoft did not, Apple did not, Google didn't at the time. Only one company out of this entire industry had a problem with it, and I'm just gonna.
That's NVIDIA.
Just take a wild guess who, Sapio. Just take a wild guess who said no.
Well, Mac just said it, so I can't take a guess anymore.
Good old games. It was Sega coming back with putting a console, Amazon coming out with a console.
Yeah. So the FCC literally they blocked that when they were. I don't know the exact company that they were buying. Okay, I don't remember. I don't know much about it. Okay, but the thing was they felt like NVIDIA. Like if you look at the reason what they've done is look what they've done in the past. That's the thing about why I think they blocked it. They've like literally took something that costs chum change, $1 or $2, let's say, give or take. I'm not saying it's going to probably cost more than that. Probably cost $50 to $100 to make one of their cards, but then sell it for 900% of the profit. You know, 900% of what they cost. That's why that deal got blocked, because what it was going to take over, it was going to pretty much force everybody to buy them. It was going to force it's just. And they knew that was the reason why it was going to happen. Now, I don't know, that deal happened before I even knew about it. Like, that shit all happened before because I personally don't care. I have a graphics card from them because they are the best graphics card to me. But I understand at the point that their graphics cards are overpriced. And that's just how it is. But when you buy a pre-build, it's whatever. You're going to pay for the pre-build money anyway, so it doesn't matter. But that's the whole reason why that deal got blocked. That deal got blocked only because they knew in the long run that was NVIDIA had no, or however you say it, NVIDIA, whatever. NVIDIA is how I say it. They knew that they didn't have a win in courts. They knew they had no chance in court because they had no valid reasons that they could prove that they didn't do what they did and why they blocked the deal. The difference is between Microsoft is FTC is throwing out random shit that they're saying that the CMA are saying, and then literally the CMA is literally saying, we did not say that, you're making up shit, and it's already, when the company that you're saying is saying something that happened and they're saying that didn't happen, they've already got legit reasons to be like, there's no point. This isn't going to make it to court. FTC is not going to go through, and if it does, Microsoft is clearly going to fight it, and the FTC will lose, and it'll just cost the taxpayers' monies. Anybody that works in the United States, it will cost us money. It doesn't. That's the problem with it. So the judge will not let it go through. The judge will not push it to court. So he'll laugh at their face and tell them that they're just causing problems for no reason, and they'll block the situation of FTC trying to block the deal. Now the CMA still have a case. We all know that they still have some type of case, you know, and the CMA is notorious for that stuff. They look into big deals like this all the time, and they make shit last longer than it's supposed to be. So we do know that.
Well, they're masters at edging, so then the joke fell through. Let's move on because the ABK is no one cares. I don't care. You don't care. I
can't find the link. I can't find the link for the Japan thing, by the way. But I did see it. But it's all from yesterday, so it's not 100% like you said. It's not 100% approved. But I'm sure within the next few days, I'm sure after the holidays, we'll get an actual
Japan
page.
Will approve it. I did see that it wasn't approved in Japan necessarily. It just says that there's no outcry from the Japanese gaming community or the developers in that region.
Before we move on to the next topic, just a real quick 10-second thing. If Japan is approving this deal, and this is where Sony thrives. Sony thrives in Japan. If they're approving the deal, why is not everybody else approving the deal? If Japan is approving the deal, wouldn't you think that would be if anybody in the world, there's only two places that would block it. Of course, the UK, where Sony does thrive pretty good into, and Japan. We know that what they're doing with the UK, that we know they're just trying to find reasons. It's something to do with the guy's his PlayStation. My PlayStation guy is making it a big deal out of it. But if Japan's approving it, I don't see why these other companies even think they have a fighting chance if even Japan's saying it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It seems like the majority of there are so many Japanese studios now that are jumping head first, eyes closed, pants off, into Game Pass, like Persona. Atlas just went, hell yeah, we're in. And then you have like Assassin said earlier, Scarlet Nexus and like all these other games going straight to Game Pass, and people eat them up. Like I could go on Game Pass right now and tell you like fucking like 50 different Asian even if it's not specifically Japan,
not even a AAA game. It's
not even AAA games.
A lot of AA and just single A games that are on there. I don't know the exact name, but Haruhi Chani was playing it, and it's a single A game. And
Ni no Kuni.
Yeah,
you know, Ni no Kuni. I mean, and then there was the other. I the Somnium Files, like all these Japanese and Chinese owned companies. Why would they say no? Because if they fought against it, then there goes their. It's not like Xbox is gonna say goodbye, kick. You know, they're not gonna forego their deal and be complete turd bags. But that to me just seems like Microsoft at wasn't it the June showcase where Starfield got revealed whenever they showed Persona that they said we are partnering with we heard you, we're partnering with Japanese studios that you love and including, and here we go, here's an example, here's Atlas and people
Team Ninja with Wolong.
Yes, and with Wolong.
Kojima.
Of course they're gonna exactly like of course they're not gonna say anything. They're gonna wait to. I mean, I don't know. People just need to start speaking up and taking it seriously. I just want this thing to be over with and done, so we can look back and laugh at it. And the sad thing is that from now on, this has fucked all relationships, like forever. This has effectively screwed any sort of deal with Sony and Xbox for forever. I feel like, because now all this drama and all this like attacking and blocking from both sides, which mostly all the attacking and blocking has come from Sony, and I'm just saying. The facts are out there. I'm not being a fanboy. The facts are out there.
Before we move on to the next topic, but you go ahead and finish, Red.
I'll just say it is effectively put a lot of. It's like your girlfriend gets drunk and like starts hitting on a guy at the bar and you grab her real quick, right? And then you're like, "What the fuck was that?" And she's like, "I'm sorry." And then she actually doesn't ever do it again. But in the back of your mind, you're like, I don't trust you, but we're here. We are. I can't get any other girl. You can't get any other guy. Here we are, forever, together. But that toxicity is there. I feel like that's kind of how it's gonna be with Sony and PlayStation, even more so now. Say what you got to say. Let's move on because I'm dead.
Yeah, two things, and then we can move on. If the off chance, the 10% chance this deal does not go through, two things are definitely going to be happening. One, Activision Blizzard is effectively going to I wouldn't say blacklist, but they're not going to be happy with Sony for ruining the deal.
Yeah, no exclusivities.
For screwing them out of 70 billion? No, no. Yeah, once that contract ends, if this deal does not go through, it's done. I have a feeling that ABK is going to at least sign a contract with Microsoft again, like they did back in the 360 days.
I think it will be bigger.
That's
than
the
that.
first thing.
I think it'll come to Game Pass. I will say that. I think they'll announce it coming to Game Pass to throw shade at Sony for screwing the deal over. If it does get screwed over, pretty much like I said, and only the CMAs. So go ahead.
And 2, Microsoft is also, probably even more than Activision, they are not going to be happy, and I could see them potentially going scorched earth. I could see them potentially finally taking off that chain, or taking off the handcuffs and saying, okay, you want to play dirty? Then let's play dirty. They'll probably do 2 things. Do the same thing that Sony's doing in money hat third-party games, which I do not approve of. Which I don't want Microsoft to, go back to doing, because that obviously hurt them in the long run. Or they're going to use all that money, all that moolah, and say, okay, you won't let us have ABK? Then we're going to acquire as many studios as we can. We're going to use all that money. We're going to use it to buy as many developers and smaller publishers that we can. And that list is growing day by day. I had to look it up. Just this year alone, there were 53 more AAA studios that entered the market. 53.
Yeah.
Independent, AA, or AAA studios that entered the video game industry for the first time. Or they announced the creation of a studio. You're not going to tell me that Microsoft is not going to put that money towards new talent when they haven't either revealed their first game, or they are seeing it and they want to make it exclusive? If Sony screws them over?
No, I'm not going to tell you.
No.
Matter of fact, what I am going to tell you is that I agree with you, and I hope it's over soon. And anyone else have anything to say about anything? No. Sapio?
No.
Good. All right. Well, we can sort of like bundle this next topic into one with the supposed rumored game showcase that's happening, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And a lot of the exclusives that we talked about, because Microsoft just announced there are a couple exclusives. When I say a couple, it's what is it, 10 or 12 or something? Like they've got exclusives coming. A lot of them we actually already know about, so we can just sort of circle around speculation and rumors and try to figure out what they could be. So off of the depressing stuff and onto the fun stuff. So a showcase is potentially coming, and this was sort of kind of confirmed. I want to say kind of confirmed. Jez Gordon talked about it, and he said it seems like it's kind of a thing.
So yeah, Jez and Jeff Grubbs have both. Jez said it first, and then Grubbs kind of announced that there is it, but they can't really figure out when the date is. They know it's coming, they just don't know.
Yeah.
If you got both of those guys saying that,
it's pretty much confirmed.
You're looking at 95%. It's probably coming.
Yeah. So what?
And it won't be surprising, right? There's so many games coming in 2023 that I would not be surprised if they do a showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going late June. I think, or late January, excuse me. Clearly there's one in June. We know that. But late January. I'm sure they're gonna call it something like Xbox Future Inside bullcrap, whatever. They're gonna show. I don't think they're gonna show every game, because clearly we do know that E3 is still around the corner. 6 months is not that far for video games. We all know 6 months could go so fast when it comes to a video game terms. And I think but I think what they're gonna show is they're gonna show the games coming out in the next 8 months, which is from January to, maybe even we'll say 9 months. We'll say September. I think what they'll do, I think we're gonna, and then they might throw a a game or two in there that comes out holiday, but they're not going to show much because they clearly need something for E3. You can't show everything this year for you can't do it. You cannot do it in January. It doesn't work that way. You got E3. Yeah. So you're looking at something small, maybe one couple small games, one big game, which clearly there's only 3 big games, maybe 4 this year, maybe 5 if you count Stalker, but Stalker just got shown. So it's clearly not Stalker. So you have well, maybe even 5 if you count Avowed. So you count Avowed is a possibility, 1, Hellblade 2, possibly, and then we know the other 3. Forza, Starfield, Redfall. Redfall, I think, is going to be the game that comes out first. I think it's the most polished. It's the easiest to polish out of the 3. I think we're going to get, within the first 9 months, we're going to get Redfall, and then I think we're going to get Forza. I don't think we're going to get Starfield until holidays. It just makes sense. It does.
Yeah, I do agree with you that whatever happens, Redfall is coming out before Starfield, and obviously,
for sure.
They've said that. I mean, Todd Howard, somebody help me here. Somebody has said.
No, they haven't really announced that yet. They're kind of. It hasn't been fully announced yet because they can't say we're guaranteed that it's going to come out before Starfield. They can't guarantee that because they don't know.
They said that. But I feel like it's not because of scheduling. It's because they do not want to overshadow Starfield. It's the same thing that happened with Cyberpunk. You guys remember when Cyberpunk was coming out? And
December.
All these games were avoiding. Remember, it was like Cyberpunk's not coming out in April. And everyone's like, "Oh well, shit!" And like 17 games got delayed. Like wait, they're like wait, hit the brakes.
Same with God of War Ragnarok
got pushed. Exactly. Same.
Sonic Frontier said. Sonic Frontier was the only ballsy one, and that was actually not that good. It was an okay game.
People said it was okay. People said it was.
A lot of people liked it.
So I think, but I do think when it's all said and done, I think it's going to be Forza or Redfall that gets shown at this thing. We already know what Redfall looks like. I think Forza is going to get shown no matter what. I think both of them are going to get shown, and then we're going to have a lot of like AA, or we'll say AA games, because there's a couple good games up there. You could possibly put a AAA, but I wouldn't say that. I know we have, what do we have? Atomic Heart coming. That might come out before the show comes out, so we might not get much of that. But, Liza P might get shown. Stuff like that. Like games that are like lower end games that are not big games. But I do think the first AAA game that Microsoft does get is going to come out in April. April 4th is my go. I think April 4th is where it goes because it doesn't go against a lot of big things. You got Resident Evil 4 late March, which if you're going to play Resident Evil 4, you're going to play it, okay? But the game isn't as long as some of these games. So you got to, the people that want to play that are going to beat it, right? But then April 4th comes around, between April 4th and April 11th, there's a time frame of about 5 months where there's not that many big games. There's some games, now I'm not going to downplay any game that's coming out in April, but we're talking like Game of the Year winners until February 12th, I think it is when Zelda Tears of the Kingdom comes out. Clearly, everybody's. Zelda is another game, like Starfield,
everyone's gonna avoid it. No way in hell.
Yeah, so you got and then you got Suicide Squad at the end of May also. So people are gonna avoid those 2 games because those are 2 possibly things. And then in early June and in end of June. You got early June, you got Diablo, and then you got late June or early July. I can't remember what day they said for Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, that qualifies.
Hey, how dare you forget Street Fighter 6 on June 2nd?
Okay, okay. I want to say something. Okay, but the thing about we're gonna probably see that at the Xbox thing. I will say that might be another one of those games. But a fighting game community is slim pickings. It's not as big as a shooter.
Yeah,
It's not as big as an RPG. Now, let me tell you something. It does look amazing. It looks great. It looks beautiful. The game looks amazing. I mean, but it's one of those things where it's not as big as Zelda or even Resident Evil or even Harry Potter that's coming out here at the beginning of February.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's another thing.
You got
Harry Potter.
Yeah, but we know they're not going to be. That's not going to be shown at the Xbox thing. Hell,
right.
They've already shown enough of that game, and on top of it, they're on Sony's money bag too.
So I will go off of the history, the Bethesda, because I just want to get this thought out of the way. That Todd Howard has always been very vocal about the announcement to release date being as short as possible. I can see them having an end of the show sort of announcement and having an official release trailer for Starfield that would show Redfall coming out. If you had Redfall coming out in what was the initial release date for Redfall?
Summer 2022 was the original release date.
It was June. Okay, so it was June.
September is probably what I would say. I don't think June. I mean, it'd be late June into September is what summer would be for. And
that's why it's weird, because I want to agree with you, Mac, about the October-ish, September, August-ish release date for Starfield. Just end of the year. Polish. Yeah, because and I can imagine them showing the official and at the end they go, and one more thing, yes, you guys have been asking for it. Here it is, and then they fade to black, and they show Starfield at 60 fucking frames, and then they go, and here's the release date. It's coming out October 11th or November 11th.
I don't think they give a date. I don't think they give a date. Because they've learned their lesson.
They would be smart to not. Yeah, they would be smart to not give a date. But I can't see an Xbox, because Halo was supposed to be the flagship IP for Xbox, right? Now they have Starfield. Everyone can't shut up about Starfield, who is an Xbox fan and a Bethesda fan like me. And they're not going to show Starfield at all or talk about it. You can't go into an Xbox showcase not thinking about Starfield. And it's not. Yes, I am very excited for it. I'm also excited for Atomic Heart and Redfall and all the everything that's coming day and date to Game Pass. I'm really excited. But right, Wolong, like all that stuff. I'm really excited about that. But even people who aren't sold on Starfield are still thinking about. Dude, I went into the Game Awards thinking, where's Starfield? And it wasn't even there. They just said an honorable mention, and at the beginning they're like, it won't be here. And I was like, well, I don't even know why I'm here. Like it just seems odd. Like I can't imagine them not doing something with Starfield, because if you say Redfall, here's the new release date for Redfall, and here's an exclusive look of what was the High Rush game? What was it called?
Okay, so here's the thing. So there's Jeff Grubb also said
right?
that it's going to be a Pentiment level size game from Tango Gameworks.
That's right.
Apparently, it leaked last year. It was called Hi-Fi Rush. It's kind of like a God, what's the term? Spiritual successor, yes, or a spiritual adaptation of Jet Set Radio.
Oh yeah,
that's how it's being described.
Shit. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that.
That's cool apparently what the game is going to be.
Yeah.
But it's obviously going to have that Tango DNA that everybody knows from Evil Within and Ghostwire.
So speaking of Tango, I was going to say, so let's go down the list here. Sapio.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you want to see from an Xbox showcase?
Let's see. From January one, huh? I mean,
yes.
You guys have hit a lot of the points, right? Starfield, Redfall. Personally, let's see. I kind of do want to see the Avatar game.
Oh yes,
Frontiers of Pandora.
I like that one. Remember, Assassin could tell you that I wanted to see it at the Game Awards. Remember, Assassin? I was hoping for it to pop off the beginning of the show. I like that.
I hate to ruin it for you guys. I hate to ruin it for you guys. Sony has the marketing rights for Avatar.
Do they?
Oh, do
yeah,
they?
they do.
Oh, another money bag, son of a bitch.
Same with Street Fighter 6. Same with Hogwarts Legacy. The next FIFA, yeah. Sony has marketing rights to all of those.
FIFA.
To be fair, I don't really care about Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, I guess I get it. If you're not a Harry Potter fan, it's one of those things. You either really want to play it or you really don't.
Yeah.
We've seen enough of that. I feel like they're showing. I'm just gonna say this real quick, 30 seconds. They are worrying me with how much they have shown Hogwarts Legacy recently. Yeah. They recently just showed a combat trailer that I watched a little bit of it and I skipped forward until they started doing the interview section, and they started explaining why the combat was the way it was, and I was like, oh no, what? That's not right. You don't need. I don't know if I'm making it. Okay, if you have to explain why the combat is the way that it is instead of just letting it speak for itself, that is odd. And like ACG said this on his show, it doesn't make sense for you to go out of your way to show a game that people are obviously like literally fighting for online because of all the the social bullshit.
The controversy surrounding the IP, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like people are already excited about it. I'm excited about it. I've been watching the movies recently again, just to get like more familiar and get my love reinvigorated for it again. Because I do like Harry Potter. I like it a lot. I'm not like a diehard, but the fact that they came out and they said, and this is why the combat is how it is. I was like, oh no, that's weird. That's weird because a lot of people were saying like, if you look over here, there's an enemy who's waiting to attack you because you did this one specific spell, and then there are no AoE attacks or anything like that. I don't know. So I'll wrap it up and just say, I don't need to see any more Hogwarts Legacy.
Back to the original question, Sapio.
So Sapio,
what would you like?
What do you want to see?
So besides Avatar, I don't know. I mean, you guys have just fucking taken everything already.
Sorry.
So you guys mentioned basically every game that I know of.
Okay, fine. All right.
Dead Island 2 is going to be out.
Which one?
Dead Island 2.
That's a good one.
No, Mac forgot about that one. Yeah, April 28th.
Yeah, but see, that's what I said. It's a late April. That's what I said. Like, you got to put a game out early April because there's the only thing that's out in early April that is like really big. I'm not gonna say the other games are not like that, but there's a couple games in late March that are pretty decent. But they're actually bringing out Harry Potter for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. It's a little bit delayed, so. But I mean, there's got to be one game, Sapio, you got to look forward to. I mean, hell, even something, I don't know, like you said, you don't have Game Pass, so
yeah,
sucks, man.
I mean, look, I'm looking forward to Redfall and Starfield. If what we were sharing was what we were looking forward to, but yeah,
that's it. It could be those. It could be that shit.
To be fair, Sapio, you don't really pay attention to Xbox Game Studios as a whole. I know you know Bethesda's games, but when it comes to the 15 studios under Xbox's main division, I don't think you know very much about those games.
I don't pay attention to up and coming video games, like in general. You know.
Well, you know what? That's going to change this year, sir.
Yeah.
That's going to change, Sapio.
Yeah.
No, we're going to force you to love every single game that's coming up.
Oh God, this is it's dangerous.
Yeah, no, I'm just
gaslit on this podcast.
I'm just kidding.
So I did find out Atomic Heart comes out February 21st, so they could show that at the actual game show, the game case thing that we were talking about. So
you heard it here first, people.
I will say that right now is it's either between that Atomic Heart is definitely my top game. That's early in the year. I definitely would like to see more of a little. There's a game called One Piece Lost Odyssey. I'm just waiting for reviews and waiting for gameplay a little bit. They haven't showed enough for me to be like, yeah, I want this game. But of course, Forza. I love Forza. I love racing games. Like, I just don't talk about them as much because they're kind of single player to me. And then of course, Redfall. Those like 3-4 games right there are my big top games in the first 6 months that I feel like are going to come out. One of those, we're going to get at least 2 of them guaranteed. So
yeah. Yeah.
So
I guess it's safe to say that all of us are extremely excited for Starfield, and we can just say that and then say other things, right? Actually, I think Assassin. Aren't you not as excited for Starfield, or am I?
No, it's my most anticipated game for next year. It's Forza is the one that I'm not excited for at all.
Really?
Okay, yeah. So I guess
remove. Sorry. Okay.
Release. I think So Starfield. You guys know. I mean, I made a video. Shout out to the Lorefield guys. Please check those guys out. And give them a like and a subscribe and all that stuff, because they're super sweet people. And they. I worked with them doing. Yeah,
where are they?
I did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Their channel is just called Lorefield, and they're just so humble and nice, and I love them to death. They're awesome people. So go give them some love and support. I went out of my way to do a video just on their channel because I just needed to get the Starfieldness out of my system. So yeah, I won't stay on Starfield. Starfield is my one. It's like my dream game. But besides that, in 2023. I'm interested. Okay. Dead Space, I'm intrigued by because I'm a hardcore fan. And Assassin, you showed me a thing today that IGN, which I don't trust anything IGN says anymore. I'm sorry. I don't care, but it's there. And what they said is that they did kind of what Resident Evil 2 did. In a way, which is weird because I don't know how. I didn't watch the whole video because I want to be surprised, but they did say that Isaac Clarke is voice and blah blah blah. There's a lot of things there that are exciting, that have me excited. Also coming to console, Age of Empires 2, January 31st. That has me really excited, right, Sapio? Am I right? A PC, bro?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, bro. High five. Ready? 1, 2.
If you're not excited for it, are you?
Okay, we high fived. But yeah, so Age of Empires 2 coming.
He has left the chat. That's fine. coming January 31st, and that's one of two Age of Empire games that are getting ported. Age of Empire 4 will be coming to console as well, so I'm really excited for that. Have you guys ever played Age of Empire? Yes, one time.
No, I have not.
Okay, it's like the strategy game. It came out in like the 90s.
It's the starting. It's like the first ever big one.
Yeah, like
Ancient mythology that was more widely known.
I mean, it's sort of like, okay, you know how like you would say, Saints Row is like, it's GTA, but it's sort of like Age of Empires is kind of that. It's like, it's Age of Empires, but, and then it's sort of, it was sort of that game that sort of built, other games built upon the idea of it.
Yeah. Dead Space for me in January. Yeah, it's one of the only two games I'm excited for. But Red, I can't believe that you just dissed Monster Hunter Rise for us, man. Aren't the three of us going to play that together?
I realized that I had scrolled up so much that I cut off. Anyway, Monster Hunter Rise, January 20th, baby, coming to Game Pass, and anyone who is not a child, according to Sony, because we don't have a Switch, because Switch is only for children apparently. Jim,
you're not gonna let that go, are you?
Yeah. So I didn't get to play it, and I don't think a lot of people have it. I was really surprised that it's actually coming to console, and I'm really excited for that. And coming to Game Pass, I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. Grew up with it, playing on PSP, and so yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll play it.
I can't wait. Was it you or was it Ant that was a big Monster Hunter fan between the three of us?
It was Ant, I think.
It was Ant. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, you didn't have a big connection to Monster Hunter. But
yeah,
are you gonna?
I never really played it.
Are you gonna try Monster Hunter Rise though in the near future?
Maybe. I mean, I like we said before, I got such a long backlog. It's not really on my list.
Gotcha.
At the
that's
moment.
fine.
If you, yeah, I will see.
Okay.
If Monster Hunter Rise has crossplay, he should definitely join us for that first playthrough though.
Oh man, yes, that'd be so hot. This is a weird one. I have it on here, but a lot of people are talking about it. and I'm excited for it, but Hitman Freelancer is coming out on January 26th. Anyone care about Hitman but me?
That's another Square Enix game that was made, right? Am I correct?
No.
Who made that?
You're thinking of Absolution. Absolution was made by Square.
Absolution.
It was great.
That's the last time I played. That's the last time I played a Hitman game. That had been 2012. So
yeah, I love Absolution so much for what it is. I'm not saying it's a good Hitman game, but it's a good entry in a beloved series. But Freelancer is made by IO Interactive, who is also now making the new the James Bond game coming up. And it's Freelancer essentially allows you to have your own headquarters, so you can like walk around, kind of like in Blood Money. If you ever played Hitman Blood Money, you got your own, but this time it's like a big house, like a big ass house in this like this little paradise you got. You can customize your house. You can walk around and take on missions, and fly around the world to take on special contracts and stuff like that. So it's sort of like opened up the game, and it seems like they're sort of finalizing the game, because Hitman, which I just call it Hitman now because it's not Hitman 3 anymore. It is, and it's all on Game Pass. For anyone who didn't know that, it's all on Game Pass, and all you have to do is install Hitman 3 if you have a Series X, especially. Install Hitman 3 to your internal, and then just download whatever assets you need from Hitman 1 and 2, and you can play the entire trilogy off of Hitman 3's engine, which gives you everything that's been upgraded up to the third game. So it's just there is so much content in that game. It's absolutely insane. So I won't stay on it too long, but January 26th, Hitman Freelancer comes out. We talked about Hogwarts. Now, February 17th, this is a big one. Speaking of Monster Hunter, Wild Hearts. Oof.
Yes, looks good. I just hope they have more than like fucking org mechanics of the game. I very fear that with that game. Like, they're not. I don't know. I don't like the rinse and repeat same 3 moves you do. That's what it looks like to me. I'm really worried about it. But game wise, it looks really good. Like, it does look, what they've shown, it looks very good.
It's Koei Tecmo. We already know it's going to be high quality. It's going to be a high quality game.
It kind of reminds me of
combat.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Shadow of the Colossus with Monster Hunter together. It does look. It looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit different than Monster Hunter itself. It definitely is a game. Will I buy it day one? Clearly, we all know that I'm not working right now. But if I start working from now until then, it might be a day one purchase. Definitely might be maybe a week in the first week if I can see more reviews on it or gameplay. Definitely looks good enough to think about buying if I have the money right.
Yeah.
So, I want to add something to this. The biggest thing I hope this year, and I mean, I clearly hope, we all know that we're all praying Starfield comes out, but I just kind of hope they finally announce GTA 6. I do think that is the biggest one out of people ain't talking about. I think if they announce GTA 6, I think that will be the biggest thing to happen this year. No matter what games come,
that might break the internet.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it's time. We all know it's time. It's been time. It's been what, 10 plus years, 11, 12 years now. I mean, I'm not sure. I know it was September something. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but it's time.
Yep, can't wait for Sony to show that off.
And people are mad. I heard there's rumors that people are mad that it might be a female as the what do they call that? The person you play as the
protagonist.
Yeah, protagonist.
Get over yourself.
Like, listen. In my opinion, they should make it a creative player. They should make it like an online game. They should make the online, like how you make your online character. I think they should do that. They should make it like a Mass Effect or whatever, customized. You should be able to make your own type of guy or female. So you have options. You're not such dragged into it. You know what I'm saying? You're not. So, I don't want to play as a female, or I don't want to play as a black guy.
I agree with you, but that's why they give you a white guy to play as, also.
Well, that's my point. My point is that's why they just need to make it where it's just customization. That's Rockstar makes probably the most money out of all companies, or one of the most money outside of probably Take-Two, and of course Activision. They need to just do that. That's my biggest thing. When they announce it finally, I do think it's going to be announced at E3 or the Sony one, which would be probably September.
Yeah, the rumor is GTA 6 has marketing rights to Sony as well. That's the big rumor, but that's not confirmed like the others.
Yeah, but it's not surprising. It's the same thing with kind of Final Fantasy. You know that Final Fantasy has been a PlayStation thing. We know
associated, yes.
We know they've been a part of that. Will I get mad? No, because GTA is GTA. It doesn't matter. I've been playing GTA probably for 20. I've probably been playing it longer than both you and Sapio has been alive. That's how long I've been playing GTA. I'm gonna play it no matter where it's. That is a guaranteed play.
That's a terrifying thought.
Yeah. So, Sapio,
what do you think?
Have you ever heard of Grand Theft Auto? Have you ever performed Grand Theft Auto? Have you ever done that?
If he's never heard of Grand Theft Auto, he just needs to stop playing games.
Look, I've never heard of Grand Theft Auto, but from what you're explaining, it sounds like it sounds like you steal cars for a living. Am I clear?
Listen, you don't have to confess anything here. You're fine. This is a safe space. You're fine.
Tell me you're joking.
He's clearly joking.
I am clearly.
I can't really tell.
Okay.
The sarcasm is really high.
Yeah. Go ahead. Are you a big GTA guy?
I loved playing GTA 5. It was really fun. It was probably the most fun I had playing a video game in general. Yeah, like not saying that other games aren't fun, but it's just GTA 5's story. Just I don't know. It was fun. Like it's built to be fun, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, sort of like thoughtless, just kind of like what the hell's going on.
Like I don't have to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Red Dead 2 was a little bit of the opposite, where it was think a lot, feel a lot, do a lot,
cry a lot.
Yeah, cry. Yeah. Oh God, don't just shut up. But yes. Well, good. Okay. So are you? Did you pay any attention to the leaks? Did you see any of the? You have any thoughts on the protagonist?
I wasn't actually able to find the leaks because I didn't search too hard. The thing about like the female protagonist is right. Like I'm an Asian dude. There is very little I have in common with Franklin, Michael, or Trevor.
What?
But yeah, I mean, dude, I'm not a meth head. Let's get that out of the way. All right.
Clip that out.
I'm not a meth head.
You're not a drunk, and you're not a guy that just hangs out with a bunch of prisoners.
Yeah, I don't cheat on my wife with a bunch of prostitutes. And I'm definitely not black, so there's that.
I can't believe any of this. I can't believe what you're telling me.
I know, this is shocking news. I'm revealing like I'm basically doxing myself here, right?
This is the first game. Yeah, you just give us your address. We'll send everybody there.
Revelation episode 1.
Sapio tells us his address.
Yeah. Stay tuned to the end. Watch at the end. You find his social security number.
And my credit card number is. But the thing is, like, I was still able to resonate with the character. So, like, so what if the protagonist is female? Like, I like as long as the story's good, as long as the character's written well, I'm sure there will be things to find that you can resonate with. Like, it's just it's mind-boggling to me, like that is a thing that matters.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people it is. And just for the record, what they have said is that there are two playable characters that are intertwined in the same story. So you have the white dude his name is Jason, I believe. And then you have the female who is Latino, and her name is Lucille. And from what they said, you don't, and unlike GTA 5, you do not have to switch between them. You can choose to switch and play as one or the other, depending on the missions, but you do not have to. You can play as one throughout the entire game, and that's how you. And I actually like that. I like that. Now, I do agree with Mac. If you were able to create your own character, because like Ubisoft with their past few Assassin's Creed games have done it really well. I think besides Alexia, that guy.
Don't judge him. Don't judge him. He's my favorite.
Happened?
I loved him. I played him, but I'm gonna defend everyone who hated him. I loved him, but everyone hated him, and I liked him a lot. But I liked him.
Are you turning into a werewolf? It is 12 something, right?
Yeah.
Is there a full moon?
That's how he sounds. He's like, "What are you doing?"
What?
Anyway,
Keep this on the channel, please, so we can get somebody to laugh at our jokes.
I'm not gonna clip that out. But yes, that's how he sounded. I loved him, but I like that games are giving you choices. Again, 30 frames and 60 frames. Don't ever lock anybody out, even if I like 30 and somebody else likes 60. But yes, I do agree with you, Sapio, when it comes to I don't understand what the issue is with. I think what it comes down to is what type of game is it? Does it invoke a lot of do I need to feel like I have a lot of agency? And since I have a lot of agency, do I need to feel like I need to be a certain character? And GTA does have a lot of agency typically. It allows you to do whatever the hell you want to do and kill people if you want or whatever. Versus a big open world. I'm gonna bring up Plague Tale, which I never ever thought twice about. And I'm a dude. I don't know if anybody can tell my voice. I know my voice is annoying.
Wait, what?
But I know, dude. Dun dun. I'm gonna add a sound effect there. But the Plague Tale 2 was, and Plague Tale 1 and 2 both were just so incredible for me. And I never once thought, like, I did have a couple months where I was like, oh, I'm playing as a girl. Like, I didn't feel immersed as the character. I felt immersed sort of like I was watching a show, like the same way that I'm watching a show. But the same way, like my friend Jordy, whenever he played Mafia 3, and you know, he's a black guy, and he loved Mafia 3, and he really resonated with the character. I think that there's a big disconnect that people have where if you don't resonate with the character because they're not you, you can inject yourself into the experience, and that's fine, but that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the game but the characters aren't good. So even if we weren't locked to Lucille, the Latino female character, if the story is great, like Sapio said, who the fuck cares, man? Like, just play the game and eat popcorn and fart all day long on your couch, and there you go. Like, what else do you want?
Watch at your own risk.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. There's the gameplay. You can watch it, Sapio. So
yeah, you do bring up an excellent
Discord. Yeah.
Wait,
you do bring up an excellent point, right? Like that it really does depend on what kind of game. If the game requires you to become the character that you're controlling, then yes, I do believe that customization is very important. For games where it doesn't really matter and there's like a very specific linear story that the developer wants to tell, then it shouldn't really matter because, like you said, playing those kinds of games are more like watching a TV show where you're interacting with the environment rather than rather than kind of like a soft escapism from your own reality into a game's reality.
Now I'm gonna briefly jump in because when the leaks did come out back in September, I did manage to stumble upon them. It really wasn't that hard. I just looked up GTA 6 leak on YouTube, and there it all was. It was about 60 minutes of leaked footage. And the thing that I have to say about it, why the fuck are we so concerned about playing as a woman? Have you, even if you don't care about playing as a woman, your life is not being suppressed for it. Like, are you gonna say that Tomb Raider should now have a male protagonist now? Horizon.
That's Womb Raider.
Like why? Why? Why is that a problem so much?
Jesus,
but
cut that out.
and
Sorry.
like I said, I saw the leaks. I saw Jason and Lucia's avatars. I saw their models. Jason, I'm not gonna lie, looks like a typical white guy. Backwards cap, white t-shirt, white overall, whatever that shirt is. Shorts, sandals. Just looks kind of generic, but I can tell he has a bit of personality behind him. Lucia, it wasn't really that hard to believe that someone star 69 Lucia and made their own subreddit based on her on Reddit as soon as the leaks happened. It was true. So,
okay.
All I'm trying to say is there's no negative when it comes to playing as a female in a video game. There's not, because it's their story that you're supposed to hear. It's not what you want to hear. It's what the developers are trying to say. Much like Sapio said earlier. That's the whole point. But
yeah,
other than that, yeah, I have no problems playing as a woman. And when GTA 6 comes out, I can't wait to play Jason and Lucia and hear and play their story.
I 100% agree with you, and I think Sapio does too.
Yeah.
And to our lovely viewers out there, I did send them. I just looked up GTA 6 leak on YouTube again, and I sent the link to these three. Because it's not that hard to look it up. It has 100,000 views. I'm surprised it hasn't been taken down.
It looks like GTA 5, and I feel like that's not.
Well, it doesn't. I don't think it does look like. I mean, there's clearly different. The game plays clearly like a Rockstar game. We all know that.
Right.
I mean,
Yep.
It plays almost similar to Max Payne 3 if you actually look at it, which was a little bit later than GTA 5.
And plus, according to the leak, GTA 6 is building on partially what GTA 5 did, but also Red Dead Redemption 2. There is no weapon wheel in this one. Apparently, it's you have a pistol and you have one major gun, just like Red Dead Redemption.
Get into your trunk, right? Like kind of like the Scarface game for original Xbox, which was way before you were.
Yep, that's the whole base on it. They're making it more realistic, like Red Dead.
Love that so much. Love that so much. I cannot express how much I love that so much. I'm also hoping for like the hair growth and the facial hair growth. I hope that Lucille can grow a beard. And
Lucia's hot. I'm not gonna lie. She's fucking hot.
Okay, so our next topic, we're gonna move on to Atomic Heart. We talked about how we were excited for Wild Hearts. That it's a Monster Hunter game. Atomic Heart is the BioShock spiritual successor, is what it's looking like. We can sort of just run through these. We don't have to sit on them for too long. But Atomic Heart looks awesome. Initially, a year and whenever it was first officially shown, and not a whole lot happened. It felt like an it just didn't. I was like, is this even a real game? Because nothing really happened in the initial reveal. And then whenever combat did happen, it was sort of like just robots. And I'm one of those weird people. I don't like just fighting robots. That's why I wasn't ever keen on playing Horizon. And but that's not the case at all. This seems to be 100% a BioShock spiritual successor. So am I alone? Is everyone else excited? It's coming Game Pass day one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Atomic Heart is definitely on my radar. In February, I have 3 games that I'm going to either buy or play, and that's Hogwarts, Wild Heart, and Atomic Heart, it's kind of funny that the 2 games with the word heart in both their names are 4 days apart.
Yeah.
When you think about that. Ooh.
Whoa.
That's a question for the bedroom, Red. Not for us.
Hit me up afterwards. Good. So that's, Sapio. You have any?
Yeah, no, it looks interesting. I'm probably gonna wait until I see some more reviews on it before I commit to it. But yeah, it's definitely down my alley of games that I like and I enjoy.
What is your alley like exactly?
That's a good question. I need to explore it a bit further for me to be very sure about it.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone, everybody. I can't believe we forgot this game, especially since Sapio is passionate. He's passionate about Mojang. How could we forget Minecraft Legends?
Oh, because I don't want to talk about it. It's stupid.
You son of a bitch. You gave me grief over Mojang last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that?
No.
What?
Okay. Anyway, let's move on.
All right.
Sapio, you just threw me under the bus. You could have at least lied.
No, I hate the
I
fact
laughed so
that they're
hard that
making.
the Discord was.
Wait, do you hate Mojang? What?
No, I don't hate Mojang. That's not what I
Then what?
said.
What the heck?
Okay,
Then
there's so much hatred here. Let's just move on.
Never mind. I was gonna throw you a bone.
So speaking of Sony, Sifu is coming to Xbox, and it's coming hard. It's coming in March, and we don't know an exact date, right? It's just coming in March. That's all that we know.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
it is coming. It's coming in March. I don't know why I didn't get it last year for PlayStation, but it's just me, or does Sifu seem like a Game Pass game to me?
It seems like an indie game. Is what
It reminds me a lot of a game that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Midnight Fight Express on Game Pass. I love that game so much.
Sifu reminds me of that one game that come out a few. It's called Ashes or something like that. It was kind of like a kung fu fighting game. It was kind of like a Dark Souls. And
you're talking about Ashen.
Yeah, Ashen. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that. And I'm not saying that it's bad. People that like games like that will play it, but I know Sifu got it was an underrated game. Like everybody loved it. I don't know. I just don't. It's not my cup of tea. You know, I got bored of that game and I was like, okay, can't wait to finish this game to get it over with. And I found out it was only like a 5-hour game, and I beat it like an hour later.
It seems like a satisfactory type of game.
Yeah, it's like
Midnight Fight Express is the best comparison that I can probably put to that. It is you fight and it becomes more difficult and you learn different skills. But Sifu seems to be much more difficult, and it's much worse, skill-based, and it's releasing with all of its patches, so it has a custom difficulty scale now, so you don't have to worry about it being way too hard and all that, but that's another one that's coming. Wo Long is coming to Game Pass March 2nd, and that looks like a game.
I feel the thing about that game is the thing I feel most bad about is it's the game that's coming out after Elden Ring, the Dark Souls Elden Ring. And I feel like people are going to undermine it because it's not Elden Ring. They're going to lower it because this isn't Elden Ring. I don't like this. Not saying that it looks bad. I think I cannot wait to play. I like Dark Souls 3. I think me and Reg talked about this. I liked a couple other games that were similar to Dark Souls. I like Bloodborne, which is probably one of the only PlayStation 4 games that I actually beat outside of Spider-Man and God of War. It looks good. It looks great. Can't wait. Graphics look really good. But I'm hearing bad reviews about it, and that's the thing. And that of the alpha people that have played it, and I've heard very bad things. I haven't played the demo, so I can't say much about the demo that's been out because I don't want to go. I want to go into it blind. When I get to play it on Game Pass, because I have Game Pass, I want to just download it. I want to start it up, and I want to play it. I know it's not co-op. I know it's just single player. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks amazing. I don't know if you like games that are like Dark Souls, I feel like that's a game for you. So.
Okay, and Wolong is there are two games that are very similar. So there is the game where you turn into an animal man, a monkey animal man. What's that called?
Biomutant?
Black Myth Wukong.
Thank you.
Black, yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're that's not what you're talking about. You are talking about Wolong. And
yeah.
Okay. So Wolong, I did play the demo, and it was way better than I thought it was. I didn't even know that you can create your own character. The character customization is so good. And then the combat is really it is very Dark Soulsy, but it's very different. It's different enough to where it feels rewarding. It makes you want to learn. It makes you want to I don't know. I'm really excited about that. Sapio, are you?
Okay, so I was wrong. I thought I was shooting.
You thought it was Black Mist.
Yes, I thought that's what it was, and this is more like Sukuru. This is more like that one game that come out that one game a year. See, I was backwards. Yeah. Okay, so that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is not the Monkey Man transforming into a bee.
That looks like kind of like a Ghost of Tsushima, kind of like.
Yeah, this game is dope. I spent 3 hours on my character making it. It's
my first fell.
Sapio, are you excited for One Long, or do you even know that existed?
Yeah, are you into the FromSoft Souls-like?
I'm a big fan of the From Software Souls-like genre. I really love Bloodborne. Even though I haven't actually finished it yet, which I am a little bummed about. I got distracted in the middle. This does look interesting. I have to see more about it though.
Yeah, I didn't look too much into it, so whenever I did play the demo, I was really surprised, and that's just a testament to going in blind to games that you think you might love, and you end up absolutely loving it way more than you thought that you would. So that's coming to Game Pass March 2nd. Here's a big one. You guys ever heard of a little franchise called Star Wars? You ever heard of that?
What is that game?
You mean Star Trek?
Oh, that's what it is. Star Trek Jedi.
You're canceled.
Oh, fuck. Star Wars Jedi Survivor it got revealed, and it's coming out on March 17th, baby. And it looks really good.
I will be taking off. Listen, my child is going to be born in March. If he plans on becoming
Are you going to name him Cal?
No, I'm not going to. But if he comes on March 17th, I'm going to adopt him out because that is the day I want to play Star Wars. And I'm just going to say that. not legitly, but we understand that. Like, no. I told the wife, I said, if he comes around that time, I said, I'm going to have to pull my Steam Deck out and I'm going to have to buy it twice.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. He's gonna name him Luke.
Did she agree to that though?
What'd you say?
Did she agree to that though?
What do you think?
No.
Yeah, there you go. Do I listen? No.
Damn.
Assassin, are you a big Wars head? Is that what they call it? What do they call it? Star Wars? Are you a Star Wars guy?
Well, okay. So, my personal history with Star Wars, I watched the trilogy when I was young, the original trilogy. Then I watched the prequels. Didn't bother with the sequels because after the first one in that trilogy, the sequel trilogy, I was like, nope, not for me. So,
okay, good.
If I can rate myself on the Star Wars fandom scale, I give myself like a B-. I'm heavily interested in the IP and the lore and everything having to do with Star Wars, but I'm not exactly a hardcore fan of Star Wars, but I'm excited for Star Wars Survivor, and before Dead Space comes out, I'm definitely gonna finish Jedi Fallen Order, so that way I'm ready to go for Survivor.
Okay, well, I have a new idea for a secondary show that we can do on the channel, that we can dive deep into other mediums such as movies and shows.
I'll have a lot more to talk about that then.
Please speak.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is aren't you a movie buff? More than
I'm
you
a
play
big
games?
movie guy. Yeah.
Yeah, same here, bro. Let's go. So
you
you're hyped. You're hyped
your own.
I'm joking, Assassin. I'm joking. You see what I put?
SpongeBob. Oh my God. Well, the whole podcast about SpongeBob. Stay tuned for the next episode. Yeah. Or whatever. Was that good?
Yeah, it was alright. A little laggy, but good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Sapio, you're hyped about that, obviously.
Oh yeah. Did
like
kind of like Assassin though. Like I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. In terms of like I haven't caught up with all like the TV shows and stuff like that. Like I watched Rogue One, I watched the sequel trilogy and hated it.
Thank you.
I watched all the other movies, but not the other like TV shows and stuff like that. I haven't been I wasn't able to play what was it, Fallen Jedi shit? What, I don't know.
That
like,
was it.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen
Or Dark
Order,
Vader out of
Jedi,
a bucket,
Chaos
out of a
Fallen. I don't know. Yeah,
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yep.
Yeah, but it looked cool, and I wanted to play it. So this would be, this would be like an opportunity for me to go back to that and play that, and then play Survivor. Yeah.
That's fantastic. You well said. So
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen shit coming. It's going to be dropping and Flushing in March 17th. Look forward to that. Resident Evil 4. Ooh, baby. Ooh, us veterans, us vets are out here screaming. We've been screaming from the rooftops for years, ever since the first remake. Ever since the first remake of 1.
Hey, us newcomers are screaming the same shit. What the fuck, man? What do you mean?
I don't. Sorry, I'm distracted by Mac talking shit, and I'm doing this for you guys, by the way. I love you guys. Yeah, so Resident Evil. And let me start over. Yeah, so Resident Evil 4 is coming, and it's a game that we all love. I'll speak for everyone. Since I ended with you, I'll start with you, Sapio. Are you a big Resident Evil guy? Are you evil?
Oh, I love the franchise. It's one of my favorite horror franchises. So yeah, I am so excited for RE4.
What is your favorite Resident Evil game?
Oh God. Of the ones that I've of the more recent ones, I probably like RE6 the best.
Whoa. We just lost 10 subscribers. And we don't even have any subscribers.
We owe 10 subscribers now.
We owe.
For that comment alone, we're down.
Oh, sorry. I mixed up the number. It was 7, not 6.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
so
interesting.
All right, now we're back to 0 again, boys. Thank God.
Back to we got them back.
So you actually like the first-person mode, is what you're saying? You like the first-person from Village? And
yeah.
Village?
I really like the more horror, the more scary bit.
You mean
a
little less fantastical?
Well, the first-person mode makes a game more intense.
Oh yeah.
I'm very, how do I put it? I wouldn't play Scorn. I'm not a scary person guy. So I don't like Village, or I don't like Biohazard or whatever it's called, I can't remember.
Biohazard. Yeah.
I don't like those because I know that I heard that Village does have a third-person mode, but I won't play them because it's too much for me. My heart can't take that. I've already got an old man heart. I can't take stuff like that.
I'm with you. I mean, I love it, but I can't take it. Yeah,
I like the third-person mode better. Yes, 1 and 2. 2 was amazing. Everybody. I watched my brother play it.
Yes.
And I don't like Nemesis chasing me because I can't. If I have to fart or something like that during that time frame, I would literally fart myself because
you will poop.
I can't do that. But 4, 5, and 6, I will say, are my favorite. The trilogy, or whatever you want to call it, because they're all different. But 4 and 5 are amazing if you've played them, and it's just they're so good. But I can get why you like 7. If you're in the first person horror, that is a game for you. Mainly 7.
Yeah.
I
100%.
played the first 5 hours of Village. Like I said, when it comes down to it, I really like third person mode from Resident Evil. That's my only downfall with Resident Evil. So with Resident Evil 4 coming now, and now that you can parry the chainsaw guys, so you don't have as much cancer on the game, I can't wait. And the game looks amazing for what I've seen.
Oh yeah.
Which is so crazy to think about because the chainsaw in 4 was the most terrifying thing. Because you would just hear, and you're like, I'm dead. And like, if he got near you, you just had to watch that animation. And it was Dead Space before Dead Space, really.
Yeah, Dead Space was inspired by Resident Evil 4.
That's what they said.
Yep.
Yeah. So we only got 2 left here because we talked about the other ones. So Suicide Squad.
Hey.
Yes.
Now,
what do you mean? Don't I get to say?
No.
Yeah.
Did you not say anything?
No, you asked Sapio and Mac and just left me to die.
Oh, God. Go on.
Okay. All right.
All right, carry on. Next up. Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So, back in 2019, when I told you guys that I had decided to branch out as a gamer, when I started to take things seriously, the first 2 games I got, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the 2019 reboot, and Resident Evil 2 Remake. Now, let me say this. I have always been a big horror fan. I've always loved horror movies. Friday the 13th, the originals, Nightmare on Elm Street, Alien, The Thing, etc. I was very hesitant to jump into Resident Evil. I knew that the franchise's downward spiral from Friends after 5 and into 6. And I know a lot of people will disagree. But when I played the remake, it was, without a doubt, the first game that I ever played that made me go, I want to play this again. In an instant. Like, the games beforehand, I was like, okay, I'll take a couple day break and just play through those games again. After Resident Evil 2 was done, I was like, okay, I'm going to play Claire's campaign now. I don't care. I don't need a break. I'm going to keep going. I want to play it again. I want to experience it all over again. After RE2 Remake, I fell in love with the franchise. I played RE3 Remake 3-4 times. Biohazard the same way. Village I beat twice. And when RE4 Remake was announced, I knew that it was going to come. I mean, not to steal Red's thunder, but I knew it was going to come. I knew it.
He was going to come.
Yes, of course. Right. And it did come that day.
And he came.
I did.
Good.
Now, and I'm more excited. I'm more excited for RE4 Remake than 2 and 3 for a different reason that I'm pretty sure Red and Mac will understand. Because they're veterans, they've beat the other Resident Evils before. I'm more excited for the remake of 4 because Resident Evil 4 changed so much of the gaming industry that I think we all took it for granted. If you
100%.
Look on the Wikipedia page where Resident Evil 4 is, if you look down at the Impact and Legacy section of that article, so many games that we all know and love today, The Last of Us, BioShock, Dead Space, they all took inspiration from Resident Evil 4. Even God of War did. The 2018 God of War even took inspiration from Resident Evil. Yeah, so to have such a legacy game that is widely known and widely received well by critics, fans, everyone in the industry, get a remake. You can understand why this is probably the second most excited game I am for 2023. And the previews, one preview came out from VGC. I didn't read the article because I was short on time. According to them, from what they've played, RE4 Remake is a much more faithful remake than 2 and 3. And that alone got me excited even more. So I cannot wait to play Resident Evil 4 Remake. You guys are probably not going to hear from me for about a week. And other than that, I there's nothing more I could say. I just love Resident Evil, and I can't wait to play the remake of 4.
Well, yes.
That is a negative. That's a negative, by the way.
No, okay.
The OG voice guy coming back. It would.
I know it's a different voice from 2 because he's obviously older, and he sounds older. That's why I was curious.
His name is Paul something. I don't know the exact name that does Leon's voice.
Paul Mercier was the original voice actor before, but
the guy that did Resident Evil 6, his name is Matthew Mercier, or something like that. They almost have the same thing.
Oh, he's the guy.
Yeah, so the guy from Resident Evil 6 will be the one, I guess, supposedly doing the 1 and 4. So,
I thought it was Nick Apostolitis.
That's awesome.
No, I guess I don't know if they changed it from this. This is what this thing's saying, but no.
So
it says as soon as the game was announced, fans instantly thought Matthew would be returning as Leon in Resident Evil 4. However, there's some cases that actors do not confirm. They're not 100% on who's actually said it yet. So actually, you might be right, but you're talking about Nick Opolis or whatever that was.
Yeah.
He's also, though. There's rumors that he might be there too. So they don't know.
Well, yeah, they used his facial animation as well. It wouldn't surprise me if For some reason, Resident Evil, and I noticed I played the series more on. Why does Resident Evil keep changing voice actors between, mainline entries for different characters?
Money, probably money.
Are you talking about Leon? Because Leon is like.
Yeah, Leon specifically. I know Roger Craig Smith keeps voicing Chris Redfield, but all the other characters, their voice keeps changing.
Leon specifically is a lot younger in 2 versus 4. He's like 7 years younger, isn't he? It's like his first day on the job. Yeah. And then you go to 4 and he's like sent on like a special mission from the president. So it's like things have happened. Yeah, he's not the young lad that he once was.
Yeah, I can tell in the first trailer for RE4 that he's still haunted by what happened in RE2, for sure.
And again, blind isn't bad. I haven't seen a single thing. I've already favorited the Steelbook for it. I have a problem, I know, but super excited for 4. Like, it's what I have been waiting for. Resident Evil 2 is now my favorite Resident Evil over 4 because of how they nailed it, dude. They nailed it. Like that, it's the best Resident Evil game to me. And so I'm hoping that 4 brings it back and makes it my favorite again with its remake.
Yep. Now before you jump into May, I just want to say,
yeah,
Mac. Now that I realize that we're in March, Mac, I think you may have a problem with your April 4th assumption.
Yeah, because Resident Evil comes out at the end of March, like the 20th of March.
No, that's not the reason why. Because just like Deathloop, Ghostwire Tokyo will probably come a week after its 1-year exclusivity ends. Are you sure they're going to want Ghostwire Tokyo and Redfall in the same week?
Not that big of a deal.
It's a single player game. I don't think it's gonna.
No, it's kind of like Deathloop. Deathloop got thrown in there in September. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody. Yeah. How do I put it? I'm not saying nothing bad about Deathloop. I don't think it's a bad game. It's just, it's already out. It's out. It's not. It doesn't matter.
If you say so, I'm just saying.
Unless they market it properly this time. Fuck, man. Like they didn't give a shit about. They got to work on the marketing. It was horribly. I wouldn't even say it's horribly marketed. It just wasn't marketed at all. If they do that with Ghostwire, people might get actually hyped and it's not going to take anything away.
It's Forza and Halo. They don't ever market anything else right.
It sucks, man. I hate it. I hate that they just forego all that. Anyway, moving on. Suicide Squad.
Yes.
This trailer got me. I was always anticipating it. I wasn't even say I was excited because even the official reveal 4 years ago, I was kind of like, okay. But the tone kind of got me, and immediately right away you can see the Rocksteady polish on everything. It looks so good. It looks so good. It looks like Arkham Knight, but next gen. It looks so good. So, anyone else hyped for this besides their love of Kevin?
Yes, absolutely. Suicide Squad. Now look here.
Co-op.
Suicide Squad is my in terms of the comics. Suicide Squad is my second least favorite team. Not because I don't like any of the members or the storylines. It's just Suicide Squad never really resonated with me as a comic book reader. But as a big fan of the Arkham franchise and of its world building, its story, its character development, Rocksteady has definitely earned its title as the premier superhero studio. Alongside Insomniac with the Spider-Man. But yeah, Suicide Squad. I'm really curious about the story here. I mean, at the end of Arkham Knight, Bruce, made everyone believe he's dead. And in the most recent trailer, it proved that Batman was still alive, and everybody was aware of that. They hardly knew his identity as Bruce. So, what I want to know is specifically, how are they going to tie the ending of Arkham Knight to Suicide Squad without tarnishing what they managed to do in Arkham Knight? Because in all honesty, that was the best way Batman could have gone out. So, what exactly is the story here that is so important that Batman had to come out of hiding?
Well, I mean,
I know the story is not about Batman.
did they say that it's connected?
It's said in the Arkhamverse, yes.
So yeah, they don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's one of those
it's
things.
It's gotta be before, right?
It has to
no,
be.
It's said after because Harley called him by Bruce, not by Batman. So this is after his reveal.
Right.
Yeah, she calls him Bruce.
For anyone who hasn't played Arkham Knight.
Spoiler. Just put it on the screen. Spoiler.
I'll
put it up.
But it's okay.
Yeah,
but have you played it? Have you played Arkham Knight?
Me? I haven't.
Alright, well.
It's fine.
Sorry, Sapio.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I don't think he understands what there was no context what you said, so I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, Suicide Squad is definitely a game that everyone should keep their eye on. It's just a lot of people are also asking how are they going to do the power levels of the League members, because these are some of the most powerful superheroes in comic books. How are they going to do them right?
Well, yeah, like whenever Superman shows up and you're like, oh god, I'm like thinking like Brightburn or like Homelander from The Boys. I'm like, oh god, it is terrifying. It is terrifying. And then Batman shows up and you're like, oh, that's actually kind of scary
Green Lantern?
for some reason.
How are they going to make a character as appealing as Green Lantern as a boss fight when he can literally imagine anything he wants with his ring? How are they going to make that a good boss fight?
I seriously think it's going to kind of be more or less we're just sort of flying by the seat of our pants and accidentally winning a lot. That's kind of how the Suicide Squad kind of is anyway. And I think that's where the charm comes in. Because the Suicide Squad isn't Gotham Knights, where everybody is super angsty and you know, wearing their eyeliner and they're painting their toenails black and stuff all the time. So this is a far cry from that. I think this is just going to be a fun, silly, but the big draw is here's Batman and here's the Flash and Robin's going to show up and Batman's going to show up, and like the combat looks to be really fun from the snapshots that we saw, but overall it just looked really good. I don't know, I got such a good feeling from it. And then that Kevin Conroy at the end, this is gonna have Kevin Conroy's final performance as Batman. Oh god.
Yeah, we cried. Me and Red cried when that was revealed.
I cried because I didn't really understand what was happening when I am the Knight and that whole thing, and I was like, what? And then it was like, thank you, Kevin. I was like, oh, like they're just saying like, thank you for being Batman. And then they were like, no, he's in the game. He is Batman in this game. This is his last. I was like, no, fuck, man. So that's really great. So everyone's excited, I guess. It's 4-player co-op. Any other thoughts on that? Not really too much to say about it. That's good.
Sapio, do you have $10?
Yeah.
You should buy the Batman collection, where it gives you all the base Batman games and that game for $10 on Steam. It's definitely worth the play. I definitely would recommend. All them games are definitely worth the play for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rocksteady is amazing with their storytelling and how they faithfully adapted Batman into video games.
The only one that's not in there is Origins, which Origins is also like $4, so that's good.
Can any of us even think of another studio to even try and take on Batman other than Rocksteady? I know Insomniac would like to take a crack at it if they could.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's just such a mismarketing because that is Batman trilogy is such a poignant, like that is the pinnacle of perspective and pacing. The double P's, I'll call them. It with the way that the fact that Batman is that tight over the shoulder perspective, and then the way that how heavy Batman feels when you move, you feel like you are a person. And the same goes with Red Dead and Dead Space and GTA and all those games that use that movement style. Batman does it in such a way that the pacing feels right because it's not like this. It doesn't feel like a knockoff Batman game. It wants you to go slow. It wants you to be brooding and imposing and scary, and it wants you to feel like Batman. And it's Sapio, if you have not played that game, oh my god, if the trilogy is $10 right now, holy fuck, That's like $7,000 worth of games right there. Anyway, so so Sapio just bought it. Good. So
Wait, what?
So we're gonna have a
review.
He did.
Nice.
So next week we're gonna have you on, and we're gonna have your review of review in progress of Batman Arkham Asylum, because that's the first one. Start with that one. He's like, "Fuck! Now I actually have to buy it. I lied."
No, it's not. I would have to like actually play through this. And
we wouldn't expect you to finish it by next week, though.
No. I said review in progress.
Yeah, I have to.
It's like play like 3 or 4 hours.
I have to rearrange my list of games.
Finish all 3 games, or else.
Yeah, all the DLC. All right, so let's hurry up and get this last one over with. Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is a game that is the 4th game in the Diablo series. If anyone didn't know, that's why there's a 4 in the name. I was very politically driven whenever it came to my hype for this game, because whenever it was announced, it was during the whole thing with EA and all that. And I'm not gonna lie, the more I saw of Diablo 4, the more I was like, okay, I need to get over this. It's a game. It looks really good. It looks really good.
You mean Activision, not EA?
EA. It was during the Bobby Kotick nonsense, and
yeah, you just said EA, and Bobby doesn't work for EA.
He does.
He probably will now.
He does now. Yeah, so Activision, EA, ABK, ABK. But now, hang on, I'm gonna be stuck on that. Bobby Kotick is Activision?
Yes, right. Yeah. He's Activision's CEO. Blizzard is not owned by EA.
I just tried to type in Bobby Kotick and it came up Bibby Lotion.
Oh.
So Bibby Lotion is now what we're going to call Bobby Kotick.
We're just going to call him Baby Lotion now.
So Bibby Lotion, Bibby Lotion, the CEO of Activision. You're right. I am an idiot. Okay, yes, I'm sorry. It's very, very late. Yes, the Activision, it was the Activision controversy. It was not the EA controversy. So thank you for correcting me, actually. But yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, after all that went down, I was feeling very gross and weird about Diablo, and then months later we finally got to see more of Diablo, and I was really, really excited about what I saw. And they were very, very blatant and open about the open world and how the end game is going to work. Because people are like, yeah, we don't care. What happens after the 900th hour? That's what I really care about. That's what mom's asking me. So, what do you guys think about that? Are you guys kind of on the positive end of it, or?
Yeah.
Cool. That's it. The end of the podcast. Thanks for coming to the Renegade Realm Pod. Now, Sapio, have you ever played Diablo?
I've never played a Diablo game in my life.
Okay.
My God, he's worse than Assassin.
What the fuck?
Assassin. So you never played Diablo, I guess.
No, I have not.
Cool. Well, fantastic.
Look, hey, Diablo. It's not at the top. It's not in my top 10 of the list for next year. But if the reviews are going well, if the gameplay looks good, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Blizzard one of those studios where like their culture sucks, but their stories that they make up like infinitely better?
Yes and no.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yes and no.
I mean, if the ABK deal goes before June 6th and they get into Game Pass, I'll try it. Yes, but it's definitely not one I'm going to buy day one. I'm just not really interested in Blizzard's IPs at the moment, because I know that the issues are still there.
Arcane Studios, man. What Blizzard? What other Blizzard companies are there? I think. What other games they make? WoW.
They made WoW, Diablo. They made Overwatch, StarCraft, Warcraft.
Yep.
And they're making a new IP, prehistoric survival IP.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can understand why you don't have your cup of tea in it, and we all know why.
Well, I just need to try it. I just need to try it and see if I like it, but it's not at the top of the list.
I'm sure if the deal goes through within the first month after the deal goes through, you're gonna get on Game Pass. Probably D2. And
I'll add subtitles to that part. Don't worry. Cool.
You say
so?
Nothing.
No, I was saying I'll add subtitles to what Macbound, whatever the hell Macbound just said.
I just said. I was yawning. It's getting there.
Yeah. So speaking getting there, let's go ahead and get to the end here, and let's just go down, start from the bottom to the top. Now we're here. Sapio, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Celeste.
Oh, a little
trying to finish that game. I finished all the B-sides, and I'm on my way through the C-sides right now.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice. Is that do you have something on the horizon afterwards, or is that's sort of your main thing right now?
That C-sides are probably gonna take at least another month to complete, probably. So I might go to Enter the Gungeon next, actually.
Oh, Into the Gungeon. That is one of those hell gun bullet hell. Yes. Nice. That's awesome, dude. Celeste. Yeah, I need to get into that. Have you played Ori?
No, that's also on my list though.
Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh
Ori.
my god.
Yeah, it's
very
so
good.
So I will say about it real quick so we can jump over to Assassin. I will say the first one feels a little wonky compared to the second one, so I'm going to tell you right now, do not play the second one first. Play the first one first.
Right, yeah.
You will feel a difference. It's pretty bad. It's not bad, but it just feels different.
That's common sense.
Yeah, well,
play the first or the second.
You haven't played Sacred 2 to Sacred 3. Okay, but go ahead. My bad.
No, you're good. Well, I mean, I was going to you, Mac. What have you been playing mainly?
I have been playing... First Call of Duty, we all know that I'm a god. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy Christ Core after I've been bitching about Square Enix like I have.
Oh, yeah.
Love that, and you know, just here and there, I've been playing Need for Speed. I'm not rushing that, even though as much as I like it, because I know you guys know I love my racing games. What I plan on playing though after I beat Crisis Core, or do what I'm gonna beat the game and then go back, maybe get a couple of achievements. Did have a little run-in with the save data being deleted randomly because the game froze and it crashed my game, and I guess it's a known problem. They're looking into it. Hope it doesn't happen to anybody else. Thank God I had an autosave. The autosave works still, thank God. But what I'm looking for after that, maybe either Midnight Suns, which you know Red I got, and I got another game called Star Ocean: The Divine Force. That also just come out late October, early November. So I got one of those. Yes, another Square Enix game. That's a game though that I played before you were even born, Assassin, for the PlayStation.
Yeah,
hey,
sorry.
I
played. Well, I'm just saying it's a game that's from.
I know it's an established IP.
Yeah, very good game. I mean, of course, I still have a couple other games I'd like to, finish off. I mean, I've beat like 7 games this month because I've been kind of not working as much, so I've beat a lot of games this month. You can check out my Twitter at Macbound_, and you'll see all my reviews and stuff on them. Nothing overboard, just a base level, saying what's wrong and what's good with the game. So you definitely check that out.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and please, Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Yeah,
don't sleep on it.
I definitely think that's my next game. I definitely think that. I know it's a long game, so I mean, and I still, like I said, it's at this point I want to finish off Crisis Core because that's still, I'm about 8 hours into that, and that's still another at least 15, 10 to 15.
Do not. Midnight Suns is not a game to just play to beat. It is a game to just enjoy. It is such a feel good game. Anyway, I don't want to go on tangent. Assassin, what you been playing, baby?
Well, okay, so I've actually been alternating between Xbox and PlayStation a lot this month. I've been playing God of War Ragnarok, Final Fantasy VII Remake over on PlayStation.
There it is.
Yeah. Hey. You know how I am. But on Xbox, I've been battling my never-ending addiction to Rainbow Six Siege. And I seriously have a problem with that game. And I know, Red, you told me to don't be ashamed of what I want to play when I want to play it. However, I also wanted to let you know that whenever I've been getting off, I haven't been getting off because I've been playing more Mass Effect lately.
Oh, my son.
Yeah. I've been expecting a video in the new year for my Mass Effect playthrough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna delist the other 3 and then re-upload them in January because I don't want to go months in between playthroughs. You know what I mean? But once I'm done playing Mass Effect, God of War, and Final Fantasy, I'm gonna go dive straight into 2023 with its very first AAA release, Dead Space. And when my ex was here, this past weekend, I managed to convince her to try the original, and she did. Her aim sucked, but she enjoyed it as long as I was in the room with her, with the lights on. And it got me itching for the remake even more for Dead Space, especially after watching all the videos from IGN, playing through the original with her. Yeah, that's the first game I'm definitely going to jump into in 2023.
That is really exciting, and I'm excited for you, especially if you continue to be a good boy and play Mass Effect. That is, you are in for a treat. Tasty treats. So yeah, I've been playing. I shouldn't have done it, but I did it. I waited for 9 long months. I bought the Witcher 3 Complete Edition along with 2 steelbooks because I have a problem, and I never installed it. I waited 9 months until finally the next gen update came out, and I cannot stop playing it again. And I already put over 460 hours into the first version of The Witcher 3. So if anyone doesn't know, there is the Witcher 3 and then there's the Complete Edition. They are 2 different versions. So I've been stuck on that, and Midnight Suns, I cannot stop playing it. I literally had to force myself to stop playing it because I wanted to keep loving it. You know how like you're loving a game so much and you can't stop? You're like, I need to put you away for a minute. It's such a feel-good game. It is not a rush game. It has a social aspect to it that Persona has that really caught me off guard that I absolutely love. So I've been hooked on that, and then of course Persona 5. I've been on that, and I guess that's pretty much what I've been playing. So yeah, and after that I plan on finishing games. You know, I never needed to do this segment. This segment needs to just be for everyone else because I'm playing everything. I'm playing too much at once. So yeah, any closing thoughts? Anyone want to say anything?
Yeah, I'll be streaming soon. I will be putting some time into streaming.
Time.
I officially bought myself a pretty expensive piece, which I don't have the money for, but I'm gonna just pay $20 a month for it until I can get it paid off, and hopefully I should be back to work here in the next few weeks. I'm gonna probably stream roughly about maybe an hour or so at night until I can get really rolling on it and figuring more out. Clearly I don't know everything. I'm not a streaming wizard here. I don't know everything, so just gonna go by day to figure it out. And if you would like to check my channel out, it's also just twitch.tv/Macbound or youtube.com/Macbound. Also, it's the same thing. I don't know exactly which one I'm going to stream on. As of right now, it has been Twitch, which seems a little bit easier, but I know the guidelines are a little bit different on there, so I got to kind of take a look and see which one's a little bit better, and so I don't get banned. That's my biggest thing right now that's going on, and I like to add on to everything else. So
okay, and if anybody can get a hold of you, wants to look at your face in a higher resolution, where can they find you?
higher resolution. That's on Twitch. That's about it. On Twitch. That's on Twitter. That's I already said it. Macbound underscore. That's my big one. Hey, no, outside of that, that's about all I really got. I don't really use Instagram, and Facebook is useless. So.
Okay, okay. Maybe I missed it. Maybe you did say Twitter, and I thought you said Twitch. I think you said Twitch, and you meant to say Twitter. I think.
Well, no, I did say Twitch. No, I said you can watch my stream on there earlier. I did say my Twitter is Macbound _ at the end of it. So, because for some reason, company name has Macbound that doesn't even exist. So I'm screwed with the underscore.
Okay, and Sapio, what about you, Big Daddy? What you got planned on the socials? Are you on the socials? Are you social?
I used to have a Twitter until Musk took over.
Musk, he do this.
Yeah.
Just block him. That's what I would do.
So I don't have a Twitter, but I do have a YouTube channel. You could find me at Sapio TV. I do random shit. Yeah, that's about it.
That's exciting.
That's the best way to say it.
Nice. Yeah. And Assassin, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing right now? What's going on?
Well, at the start of 2023, like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna continue my Mass Effect playthrough. I'm gonna take my YouTube channel a lot more seriously than I did last year. If you guys are interested, it's at Assassin. Assassin is spelled as capital A S S 4 S S capital I N. I'm pretty sure.
Or
yeah, you can say it.
Yeah,
pretty
much. Yeah. I'm not getting demonetized. I don't want us to get in trouble about.
Oh fuck! I've said the fuck word so many times. I think we're well past that.
I don't think they care about the cussing as much. Just don't say nothing like derogatory, like racist, sexual stuff, stuff like that. You should be fine.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. Assassin, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Assassin4233. Assassin is spelled exactly as it is for my YouTube, and then just 233. I tried to just let it be just Assassin without the numbers, but Twitter wouldn't let me at the fucking time. It still won't let me, so I'm stuck with it. But yeah, other than my YouTube playthrough is coming next year, and just going through life. That's all I've got planned.
Nice. Going through life is a good plan. Just going right on through.
Cruising.
Baby.
Brad, where can
were you gonna say something,
you,
Sapio? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I heard Sapio say something. It's like he went. Okay, I guess I'm wrong. Anyway, I am Red Wolf. You can find me at Red Wolf Renegade, all one word. Red Wolf Renegade at Twitter.com. Twitter.com? Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yes.
You can find me there. And if you're listening to this, then you're already in the right place. So be sure to like and subscribe or dislike. If you didn't like it, then dislike it. I don't care. Actually, I do care. Don't do that. If you have any comments,
no one else can know anyways.
prayers,
it's fine.
Yeah. Just throw things down there. Just say something. Throw an emoji. Give us a poop emoji. If you like this, you don't have to like it. Just do a bunch of poop emojis in the comments. That'd be cool. Yeah. So thank you for joining. And next episode, by the way, for all two of you who are going to see this, next episode is going to not look like it does right now, which is just like a big blank screen. You're probably going to see our faces, notably me and Sapio's face, but we'll see how that goes. So this was sort of that we had some technical issues, and as we all do in life. Whenever you wake up in the morning and you realize that you're 2 years old and you say, "Daddy taught me how to pee, and this is how I'm gonna," doesn't really always hit the toilet, and that's what happened today. That's not a
what
good
the
analogy,
fuck are you going on about?
I don't know. Thank you guys for watching the Renegade Realm Podcast. Tune to next time. Was that English?
No.
Have a good day, everybody.
No.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later, everyone.